Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Spooktober. Oh shit! Oh my shit! My fucking Audacity
Mm.
window's in the middle of you. There you go. Spooktober, midweek Saints, first one of October. How you guys doing? Hope you're well. How are you doing, Nick?
Oh, pretty good. I'm hoping the audience is primed. I hope you guys realize this is actually going to be the first of a 19-part series, deconstructing Thunderfoot.
That's
So
right. That's right.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, if Shane Dawson's taught us anything, it's that dragging things out is always a good idea on the internet. So before we get into the news, Jeff, do you have anything irrelevant and random you'd like to cry about?
Yes, actually, I do. I want to, dude. I want to talk about that Shane Dawson shit in a minute, but yeah. Okay. I think I'm allergic to my vape. I think so. I thought I had like a breakout of pimples and shit, but like I've been dealing with this for a while, and I was thinking about it like, what the fuck is going on with me? Am I like dying? Did I contract like a fucking disease or some shit? Like what is happening to me? And I think I actually am allergic to propylene glycol, and so I went and got like the highest VG of the vape stuff that I could, and I'm hoping it makes a difference because like I'm molting. I'm fucking
Well,
molting.
I might say, in this respect, it might be a good time to go back to cigarettes for your health. By the way, this episode of Midweek Saints brought to you by Philip Morris. Philip Morris, the one tobacco company you can trust not to give you colorectal cancer. But that being the case, you should maybe consider picking up smoking. It's a great way to get off the vape habit, I've heard.
It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that though, because like I actually was seriously for a little bit considering it, like maybe just to see if it is the fucking vape. Maybe I should just switch back to smoking, just for like a week, like a week or two, and like and see if that and then I would know. Then I would actually know for sure.
It's the most
So
curious thing when you pick up smoking again, whereas you do turn into the Robert Redford Marlboro man in that sense, and you exude pure masculinity by sucking on a rigid paper stick that is
yeah,
on fire.
yeah.
You at the same time get to keep the lady folk sort of guessing because your overall sex drive kind of dies, and your ability to effectively nut goes to naught provided that your smoking habit is at a certain level. So it's an interesting experiment in masculinity, wouldn't you say?
Uh, um, I don't know. Half the internet thinks I'm a fucking cuck anyway, so who knows? Who cares?
Well, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, in fairness, like 50% of the internet is like 75% of the incels of the world. So,
That's pretty much, yeah. That's. I was just trying to think of a nicer way to put it. Yeah, no, okay. So this Shane Dawson thing, though, I have
it's
problems.
intriguing. It's like watching the YouTube version of Loose Change.
Intriguing isn't a word that I would use for it. Obnoxious is what I would use for it.
Oh, it's definitely a fair one too, yeah.
I somebody earlier said Pinky's up for the chiropractors I murdered. Yeah.
I
Uh,
so wish you to use that audio clip, by the way. I was so
I
happy with that.
know. I know. I like because okay. So originally, if you saw my video, the old timey letter, I was gonna have Nick do it, and he did record it, but the effect was too loud, and so I needed just the raw audio, and we were having trouble like getting the files transferred, and then I just ran out of time.
You know, the problem was actually I realized because I didn't think it sounded too loud, but at the time, I've been on this really strange schedule recently where I go to sleep several hours after the sun has shown itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wake up a few hours before it's willing to go down. And so I mean, and that's mostly the fault of Deep Space Nine, to be honest. Yeah, oh, yeah, I've been rewatching Deep Space Nine now, but
We've been rewatching Voyager.
I'm gonna move on to Voyager and I'm gonna give it another chance once
Yeah.
I'm done with the S9 because I remember like and this is it's funny I realize like I need to give it a fresh look because I haven't watched The Next Generation in over 15 years and I haven't watched DS9 in roughly the same amount of time, so I'm giving them both a watch through again, and I realized well maybe my issues with Voyager were more a matter of my age, but all the same,
No.
yeah. So, well, everything's been piping. No, I don't expect it to be any better. But everything's been piping through this relatively elderly television, which I now use as a monitor here. And so when I was listening to it, I'm like, that's perfectly balanced according to these terrible speakers. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
In the cans, it was just too loud. No, okay. Well, okay. Before we get to the Shane Dawson thing, then okay, the Voyager thing.
Mm.
It's gonna
No,
take-
yes, let's listen. We need to stay relevant here, Jeff. We need
do.
to keep things in a timely fashion. So
That's right.
let's focus on the present. Now, as you
Right.
were saying, Voyager.
So Voyager. The problem is the problem that people always have with Voyager. They're like, it was a bad show. No, the writing was great. The writing was honestly for each individual episode, not the whole meta arc was kind of dumb, but the writing for each individual episode, even season 1, good writing. Problem with Voyager is most of the characters suck. They're terrible, terrible, shitty characters.
Now,
Most.
I'm gonna give it a rewatch, but my impression, I remember my impression even as a kid, and I can articulate it better now, naturally. But I remember my feeling about Voyager being as though it was like before the term even existed. It felt try hard. It felt like they were trying to make a Star Trek show, but they lacked outside of them being flung off into the nether regions as they were. It felt as though it lacked that sort of center. Like with Next Generation, it built up, I noticed, to a focus of human values, like these esoteric sort of values about the meaning of life, the meaning of not the meaning of life, but the meaning of sentience and
Right.
respect of all that, all the noble, lofty shit.
Right.
And then you get Deep Space Nine, and DS9 was this gritty, a relatively gritty show, which spent half of its episodes examining not war, but the after effects of war, the effects of war on people. And I thought you were frozen.
No, just somebody in the chat made a really fucking crazy joke. They were like, Janeway is a female driver. Why else would it take them that long to get home? Wow, dude. Whoo.
Well played. I like it. Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, but with Voyager, I remember, at least as a kid, I remember watching it and even getting this sort of feeling that like they want to make a Star Trek show. They're just not sure what to do about it. There was like, I mean, the central thing effectively was like being lost and coming together with those who are your enemies in order to survive.
Right.
And that was an interesting concept.
Yes.
But after that, it almost seemed like it was almost going off into Doctor Who level shit, where it's like villain of the week. Here's your weird shit. Can you believe what happened? Oh my god.
Oh god. So it's interesting. I mean, yeah, and you're right. Like they need to come together with an enemy, and it's a good, compelling idea. Problem was the Maquis suck. They were never good. They were always annoying and obnoxious. They tried to bring it in and be relevant in Next Generation. It sucked. They tried to do it in Deep Space Nine, and for the most part,
Oh,
it
and they had
sucked.
they abandoned it almost immediately.
Almost
and went with
immediately.
The Dominion. Yeah.
Almost immediately. Now,
Funny thing, real quick, funny thing I noticed though, and I'm not sure if it's first or second season,
yeah.
but it was funny rewatching DS9 again now, and I noticed that they started alluding to the Dominion much earlier than I remember. Like it was almost like I couldn't tell if it was like they wanted to set it up or they just wanted to leave some spooky bad guy they could get into later. But
they did because okay. This is a little bit of trivia though that's really interesting. So when they were making Deep Space Nine, Next Generation was still on and wildly successful, so they decided to do the spin-off show. But under contract, the writers could not have anything to do with the Borg. Could not. So they invented the Dominion to be their main enemy. And so what they did is they then said that if it's still successful and we get cleared for another spin-off show, that one will eventually be about the Borg, which is why once DS9 was off the air is right when Voyager picked up with the Borg shit.
Oh.
Right away. And that's so they were basically like trying to fill space until they got to the Borg.
I'm kind of happy with that because the way DS9 handled Q genuinely bothered me. It was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna take John Delancey's brilliantly crafted character and we're gonna turn him into like some sad pussy hound. Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
I saw.
Yeah. It's like it's a nice tie-in back to the last series everybody loved, but I mean like, come on, Q needs to be like showing up and fucking like he should be more interested in the wormhole and the fact that like that these Starfleet people discovered it than he should be interested in like, well, I can't get over this one archaeologist who happens to be very much
Oh,
90s hot.
Vosh, yeah, Vosh.
Yeah,
Um,
very 90s hot.
I will say, if there's one thing that justifies Voyager's existence, Robert Picardo as a holographic doctor, fucking great character, best character in the whole show, fucking amazing.
And
Anyway,
also let's give him before we move on to let's also give Robert Picardo genuine props for what he did after the show.
mhm,
Like rather than trying to go and like like ham up a fucking acting career, become a big director or whatever like Frakes
sure,
did. He decided he was just going to become one of these enthusiastic media science people. He's like, space is great. Hey guys, have you seen the neatest shit in space recently? Let's look at that. And it's like you're not making a lot of money doing that, but you probably already don't need money anymore.
okay. Catherine Janeway, not the worst character in the world. Kate Mulgrew, fantastic actress. Do you know what Kate Mulgrew was not in?
Daredevil season 1? I don't know what.
No, not that either. But also, she wasn't in Dune. But Patrick Stewart from Next Generation was in Dune, which was a great movie.
Gurney Halleck.
I'm only saying that because people in the chat are like, if we talk about Dune, then this episode is complete. Anyway,
Well, it's a bizarre. Well, that's a bizarre thing though too, is because like Patrick Stewart's Gurney Halleck, given the shit that they had to deal with in that terrible film, was it was endurable. And yet, when we get to the Sci-Fi Channel series later, we get that really genuinely terrible actor. He's a bad actor. He's not good. He's got a look and he's got a voice, but he doesn't have anything in terms of like pacing, timing,
wait,
emoting.
who are we talking about?
The Gurney Halleck from the Sci-Fi Channel
Oh,
series.
yeah. No, he wasn't any good.
That's the thing. No, the actor was terrible. The character was just right.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. So Shane Dawson, I'll sum up the main reason why I hate that. Oh yeah, you know what? Before we get into the Shane Dawson thing, we should actually catch up on Streamlabs because my God, we got Brett Master PBJ resubscribed 2 months so far. Thank you so much, buddy. Dragon of the West. Hey Jeff, could you link me to some of your anti-vax research as I'm doing a long-run series covering conspiracy theories? Let me tell you what. If you want to find out anything interesting about anti-vax, and a really good place to start. Look up anything. Look up the blogs written by David Gorski or somebody called Orac, O-R-A-C, who's David Gorski. So Dr. David Gorski is, yeah, he used to write under this pseudonym named Orac. And
He wanted to be a Deep Space Nine character.
Yeah, right? But, I mean, but the man is a fucking, he's brilliant. Like, what I do, he has been doing in blog form for like years and years and years, like decades at this point.
By the way,
and
on
he's
that
brilliant.
On that note, I want to offer you a little bit of, I guess, sort of a congratulations, I guess. Now, you've often cited and praised the work of Miles Powers. And I did see that, I think it was just yesterday, actually, he came out with his own video about the Jilly Juice Protocol. So congratulations, Jeff. You are single-handedly responsible for bringing that into the more mainstream consciousness.
I am very proud of the baby that me and Jillian have birthed together with our love. Yeah, Miles.
But it came out in a bit of a waterfall. It was
It did. You could call it a water birth. A Noble Yeti says, "Have a great show tonight. Have band rehearsal. So I'll catch the replay. Pinkies up, my dudes. All right, buddy. Brett Mess PBJ. Headphones broke, and I'm doing sober October. Not even a weekend. I'm already fucked right off the bat. Yeah, I know, buddy.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I almost did it. I almost decided to do it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm a drunk though, so
Yeah,
No.
well, I'd love to go sober for a month, but between DTs and the fact that my show would turn to shit, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, we have a responsibility to our audience to
Not
drink to
die on not die on camera because we're not getting the unfortunately necessary input of alcohol. Yes,
need nutrients, man. Come on.
exactly. I mean, like you guys know we're good friends with Two the Ranting Griffin. Do you want us to lose portions of our vision?
That's right.
No. Yeah.
Um okay. So, the Shane Dawson Jake Paul thing, right? um what I really want to say about it is that oh shit, but you know what? We got to get to this we got to get to this article first. Shit, I forgot about that. We're
Yeah,
so late
sure.
and even getting started on doing our articles. We got to do that first.
We'll get. I do promise though. We will give you the best breakdown of this because we've been talking about it like literally all week.
Yeah.
It's been like it's been a constant Skype DM discussion about like this whole thing. So we will
Yeah.
get to it. But first off, we this is a little more important.
This is. All right.
Yeah, Oh, you want this one? Go ahead.
Volunteers needed for squirrel census in New York Central Park. That's a beautiful
Byro
squirrel there.
Byro is going to be really upset.
Dude, I know he is. This is really important, honestly. October 3rd, a group of researchers are seeking volunteers in New York City to conduct a census of the squirrel population in Central Park. The squirrel census, which has conducted eastern gray squirrel counts in other cities since 2012, announced it is seeking the volunteer squirrel spotters to help map the rodents of Manhattan's most famous park, October 6th to the 20th. There's an actual squirrel census. This isn't a new thing. This is actually something that's been around for a while.
Oh no! I mean, if everyone had in the midst of all of the MythCon debates, if you'd have been paying attention to real politics, you'd know that Michelle Bachmann has been talking about how these squirrels are going to be drone striked for ages now.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I mean, it's odd to me that squirrels are coming up so much in conversation these days. It's not upsetting, it's just weird.
Well, I can think of a few health code violations in Chinatown that I've seen that might require a bit more city attention than perhaps the number of squirrels in Central Park. But what do I know?
Right.
I'm just a tourist.
The researchers, whose fields include animal science, cartography, and design, said Central Park will be their biggest project to date. It just made sense to give ourselves the biggest challenge that we could, Jamie Allen, creator of the Squirrel Census, told AMNY. We consider it the moon of parks.
It's 'cause, what the fuck? The moon of parks? Are you saying that Central Park is lifeless and gray and that every instance of people filming there was actually done in a sound studio in Arizona?
MON, that spells Central Park. Allen said, get that reference.
I did.
Yeah, I know you did, because you're old, just like me.
I am.
Allen
That's why
said,
I'm wearing a blazer with a t-shirt.
I'm going to go get a blazer when I go get my fucking vape fluid. I'm going to go get a goddamn blazer, because you know what? We're old. Allen said the collected data will be used to create an interactive multimedia map of the park. I think there are already a few. Call me crazy, but whatever. It's fine. It's a unique way to look at the urban...
I think isn't that Casey Neistat's entire channel at this point?
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, yeah. So it is a unique way to look at the urban experience or urban green space, Allen said. You will see the park through the eyes of the squirrel, and you will learn the personalities of the Central Park squirrels.
You will shit in people's to-go bags. You will steal hamburgers. You will find Filthy Frank eating ravioli out of his own fucking pocket.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay, so I'm trying to find the life expectancy of a squirrel. And it's okay. Well, you know what? I was about to say, this is like, if they only live like 3 or 4 years or some shit like that, like, then who the fuck cares? But actually, they can live like 10, 18 years, something like that. So, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, trying to think of the right reference here. I mean, Giuliani needs to talk to somebody.
Man,
Michael Bloomberg needs some focus to draw his attention away from the increasing levels of poverty in that city.
that's
Yeah,
true. That's very
there we
true.
go. Yeah, there you go, New York. You know who I really want to actually be one of the census takers on this? Billy Bong.
Why Billy Bong?
I don't know, just because like I would love to see like a short series of videos of him just like he takes the train to Central Park and then he just walks up with his phone and tries like asking squirrels questions about what they think about God.
Hey, what's up,
You can see
everybody?
even the squirrels get it, you know. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these Christians?
I fucking love that dude so much. Like he's got a fascinating way of speaking, you know. And I don't know.
So I watched this guy get robbed in the train, but like I really didn't give a fuck. 'Cause I'm not trying to be a hero, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Jesus.
and then I got off the train and I saw this squirrel, and I was pretty sure he was a Bernie bro. So I followed him around for a few hours. Saw him digging through trash. That seems like some serious, redistribution of food scraps to me.
Well, I mean, like he's definitely not a libertarian. He just had a video come out like a couple days ago where he was making fun of people who think taxation is theft. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen, technically I'm a libertarian, and I make fun of those people too. Okay.
That's
Like,
true. That's true.
yeah, I mean, we can't all be anarchy ball. Which, by the way, Dapperton, if you're watching, which why the fuck are you not watching? I'll get that voiceover to you shortly.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's the whole thing with the squirrels.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Actually, it's interesting because we're coming to you live from the Enterprise D Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We spent the early part of it discussing sci-fi, and honestly, when it comes to Star Trek, that version of sci-fi, it's almost futurism. It's an optimistic futurism, but
Sure.
But it wouldn't be right of us to offer you, the audience, optimistic futurism without actually also offering you pessimistic futurism. And that brings us to our next story.
Right, Shane Dawson. So no, shit, no, you're right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. The next
story.
story.
We'll get to Shane Dawson.
Sorry, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, earlier, like, I made a joke about, like, how I would gather most of the people who routinely hate on Jeff, and sometimes myself, probably haven't seen a vagina since they fell out of one. There are scientists out there trying desperately to make this a more fair and equitable society. Except apparently some city managers in Houston don't think that's worth trying. Now here we have from Yahoo. Houston officials block brothel from featuring sex dolls. By the way, to the writer at Reuters, I would suggest in the future when you're doing these things, more alliteration. It's always fun.
Houston officials block brothel from featuring sex doll. It could have been, yeah.
What is it? Brothel blockers in Big Texas block brothel from booty bots. Got it. Reuters, by the way. Yeah, Reuters, by the way, if you are listening, and I know you're big fans of the show, I'll put my business email down in the description. All the same, Reuters, the Houston City Council on Wednesday prevented what was billed as the first brothel in the United States equipped with sex dolls from opening in the Texas city, altering a local ordinance to block the business and any others like it. Wow, they really don't want people nutting up inside of these modified Furbies. The Houston Chronicle reported that Toronto-based Kinky's Dolls had planned to open a Houston location where customers could buy, quote, adult love dolls and rent them for use in private rooms. Oh, you can both buy. You can buy. Oh, this is a change of pace. Maybe this is what it was. It was like, well, we got long-standing law here in Texas about brothels. You can only rent the pussy. You can't buy it and take it home.
Okay.
That would defile the sanctity of marriage.
What if
After
they
all,
had like a lease to own option? You know, could I
what
get
if you what if,
financing?
what if you had what if they had a thing like, well, can we have a compromise where you have to marry the robot? Um,
Ooh.
Look, I mean, you talk about like, the gays ruining the sanctity of marriages. What about these robots? Because all you need to do is swap out a few bolts, and you naturally are going to need a 10 millimeter socket, and so you'll have to go out and buy another one.
I mean, you
But
gotta pay when you get married anyway.
yeah, I
Right,
don't
fellas.
understand
Right.
because I avoided that. Uh, but yeah, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Man, he was born to be a mayor of Houston with that name. Told reporters after the council meeting that the vote amounted to a modification of an existing city ordinance and was not targeted at any specific business or, as we like to call them, robosexuals.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot engage in sexual activities with any inanimate objects at the business. If I was to lawyer this, I would point out that inanimate means that they don't move, yes?
Right.
If a if I'm paying for a sex bot and it's not gonna move, then absolutely make that illegal. But if my sex bot gyrates and
What if could they get around this law if they have a system of pulleys and some workers, and the workers just kind of like jostle the doll around a little
so
bit, and technically it's moving.
basically you're saying like, so if they weekend at Bernie's this shit, could they get around this ordinance?
That's
I
right.
like your thinking. I like it. This
I,
is this is good. I
I'm a
mean,
problem solver.
yeah, exactly. I mean, like, listen, the spray bottles are filled, and that robot poon is going to be, moist. Either which way, because they had to, they put him on contract because they didn't want to give him health care. Um,
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, people who will still be able to buy the dolls, he said. Oh, okay. I see. So you're not in favor of sex workers. You like sex trafficking. These perverts are going to go up in there and they're just going to be purchasing these innocent robots who were kidnapped from a Tesla factory. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to be cool with this, Houston. No, you will be hearing from Francesca Ramsey very shortly. Um, he said, we're investigating our now. Kiki Doll's founder, Yuval Gavril,
You know the weird thing about Elon Musk's penis?
was I I shudder to think of where this is
It
going.
sings.
Please let there be a punchline.
No.
Oh, it just does that?
Yeah, it just sings. It doesn't
Well,
even
if
make any
I
sense. It just like I don't think it actually speaks English. I think
this
it's
is
like
great.
I think it just speaks like South Africanese or some shit or whatever the
No,
fuck they say down there.
that's pretty great, dude. I mean, honestly, like I've been waking up pretty bored with my general feelings of inadequacy over the last several weeks, and now the fact that my penis doesn't sing and I don't have $1 billion, yeah, that's a nice layer to this cake I'm building. Thank you.
Everybody needs goals.
Yeah. Well, the founder of Kinkstall said he's talking to lawyers about suing the city over its decision. He's like, I really want dudes to nut inside my robots in the city limits. Um,
This is a civil rights issue.
This is a civil rights issue. See, I'm reminded to bring it back to Star Trek when Data was on trial and they were trying to determine whether or not he was a sentient life form. I can't wait until we get a sex bot with an AI that passes the Turing test to where like it's like, well, how can you tell it's an actual intelligence? Well, it has already said she prefers uncut members to cut members
There you
because
go.
she couldn't help but think Milo was a little off the mark.
You know what I think was actually kind of interesting about that episode of Star Trek is he did have to divulge that he had been sexually active and had romantic partnerships.
Holy shit, look at this. Hey, listen, Mr. Texas Mayor guy, yeah? Maybe you need to watch a little Star Trek before you start making laws about who can put what where, like some kind of fascist, yeah? Now, apparently they're investigating all their options. The company has opened a similar business in Toronto.
We're
Oh,
progressive.
I can really, it's funny. I can think of at least one person in Toronto who would definitely need to hit up some robot poon. It's great too because he's like, can you go into the intelligence and turn it down? Just down. There we go. But yeah, the company. So apparently, you can get robot pussy at a brothel in Toronto. You just can't get it in Texas.
Can you
So
imagine that weird little goblin like dancing around in his silk robe? He's got his brand new sexy butt, little bit of a droopy face. He comes up with the ice pick. My darling, you are almost perfect, but we must fix you. And he lobotomizes it to make it dumber.
Listen, don't make a creepy guy needlessly more creepy than he is. Everybody knows that if JF
I don't know who we're talking about. I was just talking about a random, very tiny, extremely short, creepy Frenchman. That's all.
Well, if this tiny creepy pervert, this tiny creepy French pervert decided that he was going to get a sex doll, everyone knows that the best way to get her on the level he wants her is just to install Vista and call it a day. So
that's right.
But now here's the thing. We need to get into this Shane Dawson thing, except there's a second part to this story, kind of.
Oh, is there?
There is. So we will get to the Shane Dawson discussion.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. There is actually there's a second part to this. So
yeah, because if you were worried about the civil rights of these things, well, just keep in mind, give it about 6 months, and we will see our dear friend Donut Operator reporting more and more about crimes against robots.
That's right.
Take
this. Body turns out to be sex doll. Police say that's a fucking head. A body reported near an Ohio forest preserve Thursday afternoon turned out to be a sex doll, police said. County engineers in Coleraine said they saw what they thought was a body wrapped in a garbage bag on a hillside near Richard Forest Preserve. Coleraine is
was just somebody trying to bury their shame.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like trying to like hide your used sex toy in like a fucking piece of newspaper so your parents don't find it, and then you're worried about it. Right.
Between the mattress and the box spring, and now no one needs to know.
But you worry that they might see it and get kind of curious when they throw the trash away, so you go like 2 doors down and you throw it away in the neighbor's trash, but then they go home and they're like taking their trash out and they see it and they open it up and they find out what it is and they're like, I know which kid on this block fucking did that. Then they go and they talk to your parents and your parents can never look you in the eye again. It's like that.
Yeah, that was oddly specific, Jeff.
Well, I've got a good imagination. That's all it is. So
I look forward to your memoirs. Continue.
Responding officers initially had trouble getting to the site. Police called a coroner to the scene. When coroners removed the body, they found a life-size female sex doll. From a distance, authorities said the doll looked lifelike. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Did they collect DNA evidence? This man right here asking the big questions. This person says, just waiting for the hashtag #RechargeMeToo movement to chime in. Hillary doing a practice run.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is right now. This bot achieved sentience. Mm-hmm. Understood that it did not belong in the basement of a Pizza Hut in Tenleytown, and decided it was going to blow the whistle. And that's when Hillary Clinton and John Podesta showed up and put the screws to her. There we go. I want Alex Jones to become like the civil rights leader for sex bot rights.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, I want that to happen just so that I can be there in person when Lacey has like an actual aneurysm. Not knowing where to go with it.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That would be so great. That'd be so great. Like, it'd be even better. Like, cause I've had mimosas with Lacey a few times now. Like, sit down and like just shooting the shit with her. Make her get like a few mimosas into Lacey for a little bit, and then be like, so Alex Jones is like he's like championing the whole pro sex bot use. How do you feel about that? What? Yeah.
I love that you go to mimosas too, because that was like my first actual ever IRL experience with her. Was like I showed up at that Airbnb to meet up with you and Mems. Lacey answers the door, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And I'd walk 2 miles through the LA sun. Brilliant, but she's like, "Oh my God, do you need water?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's a skin condition." "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want a hug and a mimosa?" I'm like, yes.
Yep. Yes, I do.
Yeah. yes, I do.
Yep. She's good about that. She's pretty good. And she just came out with a book.
She did, actually. Yeah, I
Just came out
wonder
in
if
the book.
sex. I have to wonder if sex bot. Everyone should go and buy Lacey's book just to find out if she actually covers the topic of sex bot, uh, human rights.
Sex bot
I'm,
rights.
We're gonna have to get her back on the show to discuss this. We're gonna need like an entire show dedicated to sex robots.
We should. We should. We
Yeah,
totally should.
I think it'd be great. I mean, like she was only marginally terrified after the last appearance.
That's right. Yeah, actually, yeah. No, wait, did.
Oh, I wrote her. No, I wrote her the next day. Right, I wrote her the next day. I'm like, hope I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed the show. And she's like, oh, it was lots of fun. You guys are fucking nuts.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, you got the vibe. Then I'm glad.
I totally forgot that she was on the show. Like, okay, so we have actually had a woman on the show.
Well, I don't know. I mean, she's really open-minded. I don't know if she wants to go
That's
cover
right.
female.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think it's fair to say the closest thing we've actually had to a woman on the show would probably be Blair, because Blair is a woman. And if you say otherwise, a beautiful woman, beautiful, engaged woman. So yes, let your fantasies be corrupted by the fact that it'll never happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But all the same, yeah, we're on a kind of futurism vibe here, it seems. We're taking squirrel censuses, we're dealing with issues of robot brothels, and then we're dealing with people finding the corpses of robots and then finding out that the police aren't taking the murder seriously.
Right. Talking more about investigating into robots. Shane Dawson, with his series on Jake Paul.
True. You know, that's a really good point. That's a good segue. Except I really do think we ought to make it through the news here. So we do have one more news item.
And Mistaken Reaper also 200 biddies. Thank you very much. Rim, she resubscribed 11 months so far, almost a year, buddy. That's fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
What is it? So I mean, like the 10 years, the diamond anniversary. Does this mean that like we need to give him like a bit of wood in a month?
I'll give him a bit of wood.
It's just like a hunk of plastic that fell out of a 3D printer. This is your anniversary gift, baby.
All right. Let's get to this article.
Yeah, this one's fun. So a time traveler who went to the year 8973 and met telepathic robots. My God, those sex bots are going to be something else. Passes lie detector test. Now, this might be... Here's the thing. You could say on one hand, maybe this is why they're not admissible in court. On the other hand, maybe they're garbage tests, and this guy's just a crazy person. Now, we do have a video. We're going to watch the video?
I actually can... I can actually get this into my circle. So
hallelujah.
You
do that, and I'll read the article. Yeah. So a man who claims to be a time traveler says he went to the year 8973 and met telepathic robot human hybrids in a project. This is what happens when you nut in them sex bots, boys.
That's right.
You're gonna be on child support all the way to 8973. It's never gonna end. William Taylor passed the lie detector test, in which he describes his jaunt to the future. He claims he spent 6 hours in the year 8973, which, according to time traveler standards, might as well be 10 because it's all relative. But said he, quote, never wanted to come back, as it's, quote, a utopia where there is no crime or conflict, and there are cures for every problem. Most of them are sex bots that you can nut in. Yeah. William said he spent part of the secretive project run. William said he was sent as part of a secret project run by the British government. Ha ha! That's why you need to vote Carl of a Cod in 2020 when he comes up for Parliament. He'll greenlight this. He'll greenlight this project. Like, I really want to know what sex with robots is like. Fucking 600 years in the future. He claims he met a cyborg like.
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh, am I? I am frozen. Okay.
Wizard of Ice.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it's Jeff. Let it go. Let it go. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Anyway, he claims he met cyborg-like residents. Yes, I know. You had to deal with that. um, who had abnormally large head and eyes. So basically, what he's saying is that in the future, anime is real. Um, and small mouths and were gifted with immortality. I would say it again, but I'd repeat myself. The alien creatures seemed to be descendants of human beings that could communicate with telepathy, he said. Despite this, William claims he was able to talk with them in English. Unfortunately, he was from Manchester and no one understood what he was saying.
Do you want to watch this video?
I do.
Okay. I sent it to you in Skype. You should open it up.
Okay, hang on. Let me open that bitch up. Hey, here we go. Let's watch this shit. I want to see this boy.
Oh shit. Hang on.
This is like the future of any like YouTube channel, which like just stacks up anime, manga toys and shit in the background. This is what it's gonna be like in the future.
All right, let me grab the Chrome. I actually got to do something real quick because I did not have this set up like I needed to.
Now, Larry Kubiak in the chat says small mouths mean he tried to get a blowjob from the future.
I would try.
True. See, the thing is when you're in the midst of a blowjob, a mouth is only as small as the relative size of your throbbing member.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, suddenly the Bowsette thing doesn't seem as bad.
No, it does.
It is, yeah.
The idea of time travel is often explored in terms of the past. Where would you
Oh my
visit?
god, it's my robot ex-girlfriend.
It's one of these fucking ones. You know what? I want to find out who makes these stupid fucking videos, and I want to stab them in the face. I am so tired of that shit. Here, let me get the other one. I have the other one right here. It's fine. This is just so fucking stupid.
Let's just, let's blame Layman.
Okay.
Just because it's easy. There's no
Okay.
reason. We'll just do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I figured the data would be enough, my dudes.
Well, you were wrong.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Apex TV. Today we're sitting down with William Taylor, who claims to be a time traveler who visited the year 8973 as part of a top-secret project.
I'm just going to point out that if I was a top-level British government official, right, perhaps maybe I look a bit like you, Laurie, this is the man I would pick to send to the future. It really is.
You think so?
Oh, yes. No, I'd like him to go to the future and find out how, how breeding worked out and how there is no one who looks like him in the future outside of the aliens that we met at Alpha Centauri.
With the British government. Hello, William. How are you today?
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
That's good. So, as you can see, we have the lie detector hooked up, which measures breathing and heart rate, among other things. And while lie detectors aren't a 100% guaranteed way of telling if somebody's telling the truth, it'll give us the basis of which to base our evidence on.
This is why Wosley scrubbed his channel.
What are you talking? You're frozen again. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, Woz apparently scrubbed his channel, but now I know why.
What? Hey, did Woz actually scrub his channel?
That's what I'm told. I took a look and I saw, like, I don't know. I think he did. But all the same, yeah, clearly he just went to the future and realized there were things he didn't want on the record.
That would make sense, actually, yeah. That sucks. I like Wosley's videos.
Yeah, no, I do too. And like, at first I heard people saying like he nuked his channel, and I look, and then I'm like, nah, he just scrubbed it of a bunch of videos. My guess is he's probably taking a different turn so that he can prime the cyber ladies of the future.
Okay, let's start off with the basics. Are you an actual time traveler who has visited the future?
Yes, I am.
All right. And we're going to be able to see the results afterwards and display them on screen. Next question. Did you meet robot-human hybrids in the future?
Yes, I did. In fact, I met a great many of them. I remember they had abnormally large heads and large eyes as well.
Ooh. Anime kids in the future. That's interesting.
And did you talk with them?
I did, yes. I spoke to them for quite some time, and they told me that they lived forever. and they also didn't seem too surprised that I was there, which led me to believe that time travel was quite a commonplace thing at that period of time in the future.
I mean, you know, if we're talking like this is over 6,000 years in the future, like, yeah, okay, sure, fine, you know, that's fine. I don't even think that's implausible. I mean, barring the fact that it's impossible through physics. And there are lots of problems with paradoxes and that sort of thing. But I mean, you can explain away pretty much anything. But you would think we'd be able to nail time travel in 6,000 years.
Yeah, well, what's that classic Star Trek device? It's like the one device, the compensator of some kind that makes everything work. Like everything else is sound, and then there's this one device which somehow mutes out the issues created by that, physical paradox. That physical paradigm there is yeah, they just, they developed that thing. Now here's my question though, is like, well, it's not even a question. I actually feel really bad for this guy if he really did go into the future and all he got to do was meet with like cyborg avatars of people, because everybody knows that in less than 2,000 years all consciousness will be backed up into the singularity.
Right.
At which point physical bodies in the physical universe will be, it'll be a bit like sending a drone out to do something for you. It's like, well, I guess I have to go do this. Fine, just send the mechanical thing. So yeah, I feel as though like basically he was getting like he went to the future and discovered that Jake Paul, who we'll be discussing in a moment, in this relation to Shane Dawson's series, but
right,
the future is just mindless drones running around pranking people, and in the future pranking people is effectively just telling them what they imagine the future will be like, and then going back to the collective and being like, fucking totally bought it.
So Deadwolf PKB says, did he mistake a time machine for a VR headset? That's a good question. Maybe he drank a bunch of cough syrup and put on his Oculus Rift. And I wonder if some of those immortal robots in the future were asking if he knew the way. Because that might explain it. I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
no, that definitely could explain it. I mean, I just wonder. It's like I'm just waiting. Like, we'll continue on the video, but I want everyone to keep their ears peeled to references which might mirror an experience in World of Warcraft. So let's continue.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Did they colonize other planets other than Earth?
Yes, they had.
Okay. And you also said, on a separate occasion, you time traveled to the year 3000 and back. Is this true?
Yes. I time traveled to the future on multiple occasions during my work with the British government.
No, go ahead.
Work with the British government. That's interesting.
I just had a really weird. I just noticed something interesting. Look at his environment. Does anything strike you as a little odd about it?
It looks like a basement.
It looks like a basement, and like, well, there's no art on the walls.
No.
It's not lived in, right? So you've got this very generic fake oak table. We've all seen those. Mm-hmm. We've had job interviews. Sure. And then we've got what look to be like a series of security, perhaps, or environmental controls up to his up to the left of him. But then on the right, it looks like it's a fucking hazmat sheet. Is he recording this interview at work?
Maybe.
Yeah. He's like, well, I manage the grounds here at the library, and so I needed to make sure that the fire alarms were up to code, and then I figured I'd just strap on these little doodads and call it a lie detector test.
Somebody Weasful in the chat is saying that we're closeted weebs. We are not.
I like anime. Jeff hates it.
Yeah, he's not closeted. He's a weeb. I'm
not a weeb. I just like anime. Come on, let's get on with this Evangelion shit. Continue.
My trip to the year 3000 was quite a bit different than my trip to the year 8973, where the latter could only be likened to a utopia. the trip to the year 3000 was a trip to a place where I don't think I'd want to be for too long.
Okay.
There was a clone of Donald Trump who was president of the world, and everything was going, quote, really, really great. Except I couldn't nut in a single robot. It was terrible.
The sky was completely red. There was pollution everywhere. And I didn't see a single person during the trip. The base level where I was situated was completely empty. Thick pollution and smog up in the air. And through that smog I could see the lights of some sort of flying transportation.
Yeah, I've been to LA. No. I know how that goes. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, I smelled something and I thought my apartment might be on fire. Turns out it's not. So, keep hope alive, I suppose.
Nah. Nah. I'm good. Yep.
But I did pick up on my radiation meter that there was quite a bit of radiation in the air. So I had to get back into my time travel machine quite quickly. And exit it quite abruptly as well.
So you time traveled using a machine.
Yes, it was a French automobile. The only thing I could afford seeing, between my benefits and my income from the library here, I could only afford a Renault. So
I want his time machine to be a sex bot, but like the button to make it go is deep in the vagina, you know?
And he could just never reach it. It's just like it's like, well,
okay.
Well, no, I mean, so like my time machine is actually a girlfriend I met on Tinder. And I could tell she's a time machine because, I'm sure it's at least 10 minutes, but she says 30 seconds, 2 pump chump every time.
Okay.
So clearly there's a time differential going on.
Okay. TV pilot idea, right?
Okay.
We've got it. We have a time traveler. His time travel machine is actually a sex bot, semi-sentient and still trying to learn what it means to be human. He, on the other hand, because of an administrative screw-up, it's a slight comedy, but it's also a thriller and a sci-fi masterpiece, but he, through an administrative screw-up, he accidentally gets sent, even though he's a dundering dummy, instead of like Chaz Buffington, the fighter pilot, right? Now, but here's the twist.
The NASA test pilot. Yeah.
In order for him to be able to access the button to get home, and obviously things screw up, it's kind of quantum leapy, goes through time, but in order to get there, he has to be able to penetrate the doll deep enough to hit the button. But the twist is, he has performance anxiety. So while the doll is learning to be a human, he's learning how to be a man and how to get his dick hard in stressful situations.
I was thinking this would be a series actually marketed more towards like the Red Ice TV fanboy set, in that it's like the magic button to travel through time is the female orgasm, but the trick is as far as you know, it doesn't exist. So
I like my idea better, but here's the thing: I need a good title. I need a good title for this one. Okay. It's comedy, but it's a serious sci-fi thriller.
and it's all lowercase, so it looks,
Okay.
sci-fi. I-G-spot.
That's not bad. Okay.
That's why I have a book deal.
Let's see. That's not bad. I want to see if anybody in the chat can come up with something good.
Let's call it a Joe Rogan experience.
Jamie, pull that up. Time fuck. Now you can't call it time fucker because you can't drop f-bombs in the title. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere in the marketplace. Not surprised. That's a good one. No, I don't. Anyway,
Well, I mean, it could be like, it could be short with a disappointing ending. We could just call it Firefly.
Oh.
I know. It's funny you mentioned Firefly, and it's like everybody thinks about that one relative who died way too young.
No, I think about how annoying Firefly fans are.
Oh.
Oh, finger guns.
Well, I guess I mean, so everyone who's watching right now, I hope you all tune into my new solo podcast coming up soon. I've just met this man. I don't know where he came from.
Oh, wow. Coital leap. Oh!
Oh,
uh,
not bad.
Larry said back to the furniture, but I mean, it'd have to be a furry sex bot. Yeah, go
Or
ahead.
just. Well, I mean, maybe maybe you have those people who like they order their sex bots from Toronto, and they're like, yeah, can I get it with extra bush, please? It's like, I mean, here's the fucking weird thing to think about. There are people out there who are gonna order sex bots and say, can I get a little bit of extra bush on there, please? Can you make it? Can you make it that weird, like, sort of Irishy mutt thing where there's a little red in it and the rest is all brown?
Labia
Okay.
looper. That's not bad. Somebody said don't shit on Firefly. I'm not shitting on Firefly. Firefly was fine. It was fine. And I think the movie's great. Show was okay. But I don't think it really got its chance to shine. I think if it
No,
got a
that's the thing,
second, if it got
had
a second
potential.
season, yeah, if it
Yeah.
got a second season, I think it would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fucking wellspring of potential, and
Yeah.
it's a great show to watch. I've watched that one season that we got over and over again.
Right.
And then the nice thing is too is we can look back to Fox canceling that, and then we can look at all the shows that they put on after that. And then if you have any reason to want an asteroid to smash into the Earth and end our species, you compare that to YouTube, and you get a very good understanding of how like, if you're a producer, don't listen to the public. They don't know what they like.
Yeah, that's true. And also, the thing that you got to keep in mind with Firefly, like the counterpoint to everybody who's like fervent Firefly fans, and I understand why you are. I do. I understand why you are, because there were some great characters in there, had a lot of really great potential. But
Great writing.
counterpoint, Joss Whedon.
Well, counterpoint to that, I don't give a fuck what kind of dumb shit politics somebody who creates something awesome might hold.
It's not about his
because-
politics. Nah, it's not about his politics. It's not about his politics. You know what it is? It's if you've watched a Joss Whedon movie or you've watched a Joss Whedon TV show, you've already seen all of the characters. All of them.
Yeah.
Because he has very specific archetypes of people, and then he writes them exactly the fucking same. And if you've watched enough of his stuff, you start to notice these patterns, and it gets really fucking annoying.
Here's
Really
a weird
annoying.
thing.
Ugh.
I'm gonna need to go and do this myself now. I'm gonna have to go and compare Cabin in the Woods to Avengers and see if he wrote, what's his name? Thor, the actor there. Chris Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Hemsworth? Was it one of the whatever
It's Chris.
Paul brother?
It's Chris.
Whatever. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. Whatever Paul brother.
Liam's
he
cute,
cast
but
now.
Chris is a fucking he's a god.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, his thing. I want to compare like his character in Cabin in the Woods to the Avengers to see if it's the same thing, because I kind of think it is.
Dude, no, it is. It is okay. No, and I can prove it. I can prove it. So there's a scene in Cabin in the Woods, where he's like,
We
we
should
gotta
stay together.
Yeah, we should stay together. Right. That was on a video recently too.
And then a thing, and then
then
a thing
they
feeds into his head.
Yeah, they
and
spray the
tells him-
gas. Yeah. And then he's like, we should split up. We'll cover more ground. Well, what happened in Age of Ultron with the Scarlet Witch? And she went at Thor, and then he acted like a dummy.
Yeah. Good job, Joss Whedon. You've been able to recycle the same script through 100 different shows, and no one ever noticed until now.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. I mean, like, but it's fine if you guys like your Joss Whedon shows and everything like that. It's fine. I'm never gonna be that big of a fan, and it's not actually even Joss Whedon's fault. It's actually a former roommate's fault. That's the truth.
Oh, what happened?
Because This woman loved Buffy so goddamn much, she had a giant cardboard cutout of Spike, like that and I'm not making this up.
She'd be like,
At
"Let me go
times-
reverse cowgirl."
At
Why?
times, she
No
would
reason.
she would move it in the morning from her bedroom to her office and then do her work. And then when she was going to bed, she would pick up her cardboard cutout of Spike and then take it back into her bedroom.
You know what you need to do? You need to send her a video. You need to send her a link, like just a torrent link, because no one needs to pay for it. But you find the Crow sequel that Eddie Furlong played in,
Yeah.
where Spike was the bad guy. Yeah, show her that and break her heart.
See,
Be like, this isn't bitterness. It's just I hate you still.
yeah, it's also because like, all right, and it like that was pretty cringy and that was really sad, but like she even had a framed picture of James Marsters who played Spike, and she was a very what's the nicest way I could put this? She was very spheroid. I'll put it that way.
She maybe
She was-
had her own gravity.
She was a large and short woman, and it was just a bad mix. It was just a bad mix. Like
Large and short is a bad mix.
it
I'll agree.
was a bad mix, and she was very aggressive with her fandom and like overpowering him when she got the picture taken with him at this convention, and like the look of fear in his eyes in that photo, and she'd point to it and she'd be like, look how excited he was to meet a true fan. There are all those fake fans, and then he met a real fan, and look at the excitement in his eyes. And I'm like,
It's like, well, he looks a bit like Tana Montague when she got to meet iDubbbz for the first time.
a little bit. I'm trying not to make like any fat jokes or anything, because whatever, dude, it's fine. People are big sometimes, whatever. But like, it was a mix. It was a mix of a mix of her physical intimidation and her attitude that was just like.
Yep. Being large and unattractive is one thing, but that can't hold a candle to being the creepy, obsessive superfan.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people who are large are not actually shaped like the ball from Indiana Jones.
I don't want to be mean. I'm just saying they're giant and they try and crush adventurers.
Well, most large people don't literally look like a fucking sphere. They don't. The bodies, even large fat bodies, don't look like that. But like, dude, it was just so weird. It was so weird. It was so weird.
I'm forced to think of Tess Holliday, for instance, who as though like somebody drunkenly decided to use like one of those cake batter devices, and they just kind of kept layering things. It's like when you look at like
stop! No!
What
is happening? Oh crap! Oh, I forgot how to turn a nozzle.
Oh, you're space bagging it?
Shut up. Yes.
There's no shame in it. I mean,
shit.
The only thing that makes it shameful is if you leave it in the box.
Hey, it's lefty tighty, right?
I have no fucking idea.
Lefty tighty,
I drink
right,
beer.
Loosen?
When I drink wine, it comes out of a bottle.
Oh God.
I'm a civilized spheroid human being.
Oh God. Here, Nick, entertain everybody. I gotta clean this up.
Well, I guess before we get to before we get to hanging out with all of you guys, I'm gonna we've discussed it between each other too, and it really is a very central thing we need to talk about. In the online sphere, we've got Shane Dawson's documentary on Jake Paul, and there's a lot of criticism about it. And I think there's something that has gone woefully under criticized in this respect, and that is namely his more recent interview with Nick Crompton. Now, if you've seen the video, you know that he goes to this big, fabulous mansion that has multiple levels. I don't believe it. I don't buy it for a fucking second, and you know why? Ask yourself this. Could you genuinely believe that Nick Crompton would ever hit a gym? Think about that for a second. Now, aside from that, I had no other jokes prepared. But I will say that I'm really glad that everybody has been enjoying and remarking upon the fact that something could be milked that long. And I'm almost kind of hoping that the people who are watching that and commenting about the fact, like, wow, you're really, really milking this thing, dragging it out endlessly, needlessly, might actually make, I don't know, maybe take a moment to sort of re-examine how the careers of, I don't know, Mr. Medicare happened. Just saying. But all the same, yes, I don't believe Nick Crompton has ever hit a gym, and I don't believe he'd ever actually pay for a gym, except for the fact that he also knew ahead of time that Shane Dawson would be coming into his mansion, and he needed to show the fact that he was, quote-unquote, trying. So, you're all very welcome. This has been, PewDiePie. If you want somebody to give you a better analysis, you can reach out to the show. I know he's a big fan of the show. And, yes, for all of those who are trying to criticize that, I think you need to take a step back. Stop asking if Shane Dawson is fanning himself like a 1920s dame who's about to pass out on a couch by looking at things that he was already well aware of ahead of time. And ask yourself this. If Nick Crompton was going to spend that much money on a gym, would he still be shaped like a moon?
That's no moon. That's Nick Crompton. Man, what the fuck? Everything's gonna be all sticky in the studio now.
Welcome to my world.
More.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I gotta say though, I mean, I did watch it. I watched half of it before, and it is funny because you can see this whipped dog look in Crompton's eyes. To where he's like, yeah, I knew I'd have to fucking answer these questions someday.
Oh, we're talking about the Shane Dawson thing. Okay.
Yeah, I actually ended the joke. So once we're done with this, we can actually go into talking to people who might have opinions about it.
I guess we actually have to talk about it now. Okay, fine. All right. Well, joke's over. Well, that was my idea for the name of the episode. Is going to be Shane Dawson.
Fuck yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yes. No.
It's not false advertising. We do actually talk about Shane Dawson. So
we mentioned him as many times as his name appears in the title.
That's right. Real quick, Crab90, proof that all you need to pass poly is calm and conviction, things that any pathological liar would have. True. Very true.
Wait a second. Hang on. What was his name again? The time traveler.
I don't know.
His name was reportedly William Taylor. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. I'm going to launch a 14-part miniseries on YouTube soon to find out whether or not William Taylor is a sociopath. I feel it's very important because a lot of people are paying attention to this now that I brought it up. And and I will talk to his close friends and family to find out what it was like living with that. And then I'll talk to a YouTube therapist who read the DSM once and remembered certain parts of it.
ChiChiRC, just an FYI, because you say it wrong, Jeff, the screen name is ChiChiRC. Chi-Chi Roach Clips. I just said ChiChiRC. What the fuck? Oh, I do usually say Chi-Chi, don't I? Hubby's nickname from high school. Yeah, no, I do usually say it. Resubscribe 9 months so far. We have a Twitch baby. When do you want to name it? So
Jake.
That's right, Jake Paul. You know what I hate? I can sum up the total of why I hate this Shane Dawson series. And keep in mind, I've been watching Shane Dawson since 2000 and when he started. I don't know, 2001 or some shit, whenever the fuck YouTube started. Because he was right at the beginning too, and he was the one that I watched a lot.
2006, yeah.
Whatever the fuck it was. I don't fucking know. Anyway, there's a scene in episode 2 where they're talking about like manipulation by sociopaths, and there's this like, well, yes, sociopaths might try and utilize emotionally manipulating tactics. He's like, oh, like maybe like putting music or sound effects in that might like change the mood or influence the way people feel. And she's like, exactly. And then he turns and
production.
right, but he turns and he looks at the camera, and the camera zooms in on him, and he's like, uh-oh, and spooky music plays. That's just what you were talking about. That is just what you were saying.
I've been enjoying it, and I've never watched Shane Dawson before. He it strikes me as this sort of like.
I am bringing up the thing Philly D mentioned. I noticed it too, though. I notice it too.
No, it's a very fair observation. It's just funny because one thing I noticed too is like he's pointing out how like the sociopaths have no empathy, this and that, and he keeps showing clips of Keemstar. Now, honestly, if you want like if you're actually gonna go down that road, right? You're actually going to start talking about people on YouTube who might be like sociopathic or just like fucking shitty people. And you show Keemstar. Yeah. If you show that in any context outside of like, if you spend more time trying to show what Tana Montague is a fucking sociopath and you don't reference Keemstar, let's be fucking honest here. Tana Montague is a narcissistic. She's probably got narcissistic personality out the ass, right? There's no getting around that. Keemstar is a legitimately shitty person. He is a legitimately shitty person who makes a living being a legitimately shitty person. You're not going to focus on that if you're going to flip back and forth, and then at the same time you're actually going to try and present yourself as like this neutral emotional arbiter. Well, at the same time, let's be honest. Like the oh my god, like you chose to put that in your thing. So if that really happened and you really had that breakdown, you chose to put that in there. Otherwise you hammed it up for the fucking camera. At which point, let's be fucking honest. Yeah, maybe Jake Paul is a fucking sociopath, but if it's working according to that same definition that we're working on now, I'd say Shane Dawson is more sociopathic than anybody else, because at this point we've already been told like, oh yeah, they're really good at mimicking and expressing emotion when it's convenient to convey a point. What the fuck have these last 2 episodes been? Even the third one, you're having a fucking panic attack because you're going to do an interview with somebody that you asked to interview you? Really? Yeah.
I don't fucking buy any of it. It's all fake as fuck. All of it.
Well, this is fake. Well, it's funny too, because like even when it's sympathetic too, this is what I hate about this shit. Is that like this is one of the things I hate about YouTube at the higher levels of things, right? We're supposed to, we as viewers, as people, I mean, Jeff and I, we're hustlers. We hustle the living shit out of what we can do. We try and make you guys laugh. We try and make you guys enjoy what we produce in our own, combined efforts and respective efforts, right? We try and do that. And most people doing this, like, barely get by, if even that.
Yeah.
And yet this is some entertainment level horse shit. Like it's like the people trying to say that Beyonce is some kind of like goddess of feminist and political like virtue or whatever. No, fuck this. What we're talking about is a whole bunch of really rich and like obnoxiously successful people who in the course of the rest of their lives genuinely have nothing to worry about unless they fuck themselves over really bad in a Nicolas Cage style way. We're expected to like feel emotions for a millionaire who makes their living talking about other people.
The other thing the last thing I'd like to mention though is Shane Dawson. I'm not even gonna get mad at Shane for doing this. It's just I'm annoyed with it. But I understand, because when I was watching Shane, like I said, I was watching him like his first year that he was making videos way back in the day, in ancient history, and he always had the same thing that he was saying, because he was very unabashed and very open, which was, I want to be famous. I am going to be famous. I don't care what it is. I will hustle hard and I will do what I need to do, and I'm going to get famous. And he did. He did. He fucking busted his ass, and he got famous, and he has a massive amount of influence. So game recognizes game. He's got way more game than I do. But, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to still be like, all this shit is fake. But, I mean, if you like it and you're entertained by it, have fun. It's okay.
Well, I think, I hope at some point, though, we're going to find ourselves, like, coming to a point of renaissance when we realize that, like, and it started with fucking reality TV. It started with reality TV. It started with talk shows even before then. This whole, like, tragedy porn shit people are really all into.
Oh, yeah, huh.
I can think of 24 channels, right?
Hey, jump into the waiting room, guys. And on the
jump into the waiting room. Yeah, but I can think of 24 channels that like actually produce thought-provoking and also entertaining content that are nowhere near the levels of this pathetic like fame whoring that we see. The only reason Shane Dawson is doing a series on Jake Paul is because Jake Paul is huge.
Here's the thing, though. Like Shane doing this isn't really pathetic, though. It's effective. That's the thing. Makes
perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. The pathetic part isn't even on the creators, really.
Right.
This is the same opinion I have about the fucking blood sports kids or the fucking like the alt-right fucking.
Let's not get into. I don't want to fucking.
No. But all of that. No. The pathetic fucking nature to the fact is that like, this is what the masses really go for. This is why we get the politicians that we get. This is why we get the media shit shows that we have. This is why you can't ever meet or know your heroes because they'll always let you down. It's because the way in which we've actually approached media as a sort of society is one which celebrates tire fires. We love it, and we can't get enough of it. You show us a shit show, and I'm as guilty as anybody else. You show me a fucking flaming tire fire shit show, and I can't get fucking enough of it. And it's almost like a comment on like the worst part about human nature. It's not so much that we are ourselves inherently shit. It's just that we quietly love to see everything around us turn to shit.
We live in a society. All I'm gonna add to that is I can get enough of it, and I have. And you're frozen. All right, we're gonna roll. We're gonna get some people in.
I'll unfreeze myself.
Do so, Delilah. Do so.
There we go. Wait. Hang on, that didn't work. There we go. Now we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Nick needs an Ambien.
I cannot help with that. I'm sorry.
I don't do well with Ambien.
I wouldn't imagine that you would.
Oh, what's up, dudes?
Oh, not a whole lot. My face is rotting. Yeah. And I forgot to get a blazer, and I spilled wine all over myself. So
I'm sorry about both of those things. Hey, Sire just actually sent me a request. He's been making jokes about this show, and I have no idea what it is. Do you guys know anything about a show called The Prisoner? He wants me to talk about, and I have no idea what it is.
Old sci-fi show, The Prisoner. Yeah.
That was a good show.
Okay. He's making all sorts of references in the chat. Nobody was getting them, I don't think.
Well, actually, Jeff, I think at some point we actually both need to get those numbered ribbons.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do that. We could probably pull it off. That'd be fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's one of those kind of obscure, but at the same time utterly brilliant, like British sci-fi-ish shows. It is sci-fi, but I don't know if you can really call it sci-fi. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's
okay.
It's a sci-fi version of like a really trippy, esoteric, psychological thriller.
It's I think I just think I think I just thought of it. It's the spiritual ancestor of Black Mirror.
Okay.
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 Okay. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie. More references I don't understand. I don't watch TV. But cool.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre it's a really bizarre TV series. It was really good though. It was incredible. And unfortunately the movie reboot I mean it wasn't the worst thing in the world either. It had Ian McKellen in it
That's good.
and Jesus Superman Jim Caviezel. Yeah, that guy.
That one.
Yeah, and it was okay. It was all right. It's fine, I guess.
Wait, Jim Caviezel was Superman?
Wasn't he? Who's the dude who was Superman? Oh no, yeah. Wait.
Christopher Reeves was Superman a lot, but I don't know who that other guy was.
Who's the other guy that played Superman? Like most recent Superman?
The guy with the mustache.
Oh, dude, no. The guy from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
No, not him. He was
Henry
He
Cavill.
actually played. He was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. too. I can't remember his name.
Henry Cavill. I got Jim Caviezel and Henry Cavill totally mixed up. My God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, like we could have had Nicolas Cage as Superman, and
Oh God, please no, please no.
That would have been amazing. Larry Kubiak tossed 100 bones at us. Here is a monthly tribute to the Saints. After God Bezos takes his cut to raise the minimum wage, much love, my dudes. Take it easy. Love to you, Larry. Thank you so much, buddy.
and praise Bezos, by the way.
That was really nice of him. Cool.
See, there's a power struggle going on right now. This power struggle is between Bill Gates and Bezos because Bill Gates wants Nick not to move, yet Bezos wants to provide the platform for Nick to move.
Yep,
I see.
That is true. I got an email from Jeff, actually, not this Jeff, but the rich one.
Obviously,
I'm rich in spirit.
Yeah, he was
You're
saying
rich in personality, Jeff.
That's right.
Yeah, what he said, what he told me, he could actually like bombard the entire state of New Hampshire with high levels of microwave radiation that were targeted just to make sure that everyone who was in charge of Quinn living with me could die, and then we could move out to the West Coast, and then I could actually. Here's the thing. This is the hang up. Is Master Bezos also said that if this was to happen, that I would need to pledge 35 years of Quinn's life to working at an Amazon distributorship.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's going to come down to a coin toss, to be honest with you.
You might want to let Quinn toss that coin. Let her be the master of her destiny.
Exactly. I'll be like, however this horrendous fate befalls you, I want you to know that I was not responsible.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault you have to work for 35 years at Amazon and hate your life. You did it yourself.
You'll get $15 an hour for
it's
35
a
years.
modern take on Rumpelstiltskin. So apparently, they're making a sequel to Passion of the Christ.
Wait,
Passion.
Is
Harder.
Is it about the 2016 election? Please tell me it is.
It is not. But
damn it!
Wait, why is there another Passion of the Christ movie?
Because he's a really passionate dude.
Passion of the Christ Resurrection,
yes, but...
directed by Mel Gibson, starring Jim Caviezel.
Oh no.
Apparently, this is
where he
this is confirmed. This is confirmed.
It's the story. It's
to actually follow the Easter story.
No, listen. It's a Mel Gibson movie, so that if there's one thing we can be sure of, it's that Jesus will rise from the grave in order to raise an army against the English.
I thought it would be against the Jews. It's a Mel Gibson movie.
Listen, I may not have read my Bible in a while, but I don't think you got that right, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, well, there were a lot of authors, and some books got cut out, and
That is true. There have actually been books cut out of the Bible. That is true.
Listen, I mean, he was trying. He was trying to give us this secret biblical message that has been held by the Catholics for
Listen,
ages.
Mel Gibson is just trying
via
to
the
tell us about the secret book
Listen,
that's
if
all about the English taking over the world.
if you can't
With
if you can watch the movie The Patriot and not like see the obvious Jesus parallels there, I don't know what I can do to help you. I'm sorry.
I don't know. The only time I've actually ever seen The Patriot, I was in like high school, so I wasn't paying attention very well.
I was forced to watch that movie in basic.
They forced it upon us in U.S. history in high school.
Oh my god, they gave you a fucking Mel Gibson movie for U.S. history. It's like, yes, this is an epic amount of American history, and the point in which Mel Gibson and his ponytail decided to rebel against the English oppressors.
Dick, you have no idea. When I was like in 8th grade, in a world history class, we watched Troy, the beautiful Troy movie with Brad Pitt, and then
I'm sorry.
I watched Flyboys.
Can I just say that when you began saying that, I heard the tra, and I was really hoping you were going to say Troll 2.
No, just Troy. Just Troy with Brad Pitt playing a terrible, terrible Achilles.
I still like that movie though.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad, but
yeah,
it does not hold up.
What's his fucking name? Is Paris is fucking terrible.
Orlando Bloom and Onion.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom and Onion. Eric Bana was really good.
Birdside.
There were good parts.
You're going to base our strategy on
It wasn't
Birdside.
terrible. It wasn't really accurate to the Iliad, but it wasn't terrible.
Right.
Well, yeah, but it was. I mean, let's keep in mind what Troy was actually trying to be. It wanted to be a mix of Braveheart and Lord of the Rings. That's all it was.
I think it was just trying. Yeah. No, I just think it was just trying to be a historical war movie. I mean,
it wanted to be. No, actually, no. You're right. I'm sorry. It wanted to be Gladiator.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yes. It wanted to be Gladiator. Or Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven was a really good movie. But, okay.
I mean, where the fuck... I mean, I've read... And I saw you, like, tweeting some shit earlier, Jeff. I feel like you've got no respect for Greek mythology. In terms of writing, at least.
It's bad writing. It's bad writing.
No, it's early writing. It's basically people figuring out how to write.
No,
and
look,
the story
Greek
of Ajax. Where the fuck was Ajax? Ajax was just some lumbering cunt. Yeah, in Troy. Ajax was just some lumbering cunt who happened to like serve as a set piece, and that was it.
Yeah,
Where was him? Where was him losing his mind over the fact that he could not actually inherit the armor?
Most of Ajax's story happens well before they land on the beaches of Troy. So it was like, why throw him into a bigger role? Why?
True, but I'd rather have read or seen more of Ajax than, at least in the original Iliad, seeing more of Achilles and his totally not homosexual relationship with that one kid.
Oh, with his cousin. Yeah, with his cousin.
Yeah, because Greeks, ancient Greeks.
Yeah, but look. All right. Before everybody crucifies me because I think all of Greek mythology is just basically how not to run a small business. I wanted to mention that really, if we're gonna have a Passion of the Christ sequel, what I really think we need, I think we need Passion of the Christ versus the Hebrew Hammer. I want the second coming to happen, and it's in Henry Caviezel, whatever the fuck his name is, comes back to Earth for the second coming in 2018 America, and this time it's personal, and he wants to get revenge on the people who took him out, which is the Jews. So then we got his name was like Seth Goldberg. It was Adam Goldberg.
Seth Meyers, what?
Adam Goldberg, as a Hebrew hammer, has to stop a rampaging zombie Jesus Christ who's trying to, like, rampage through Queens and firebomb synagogues. So he's got to stop him.
And he's got to enlist the help of a most unlikely ally in the resurrected cartoon of Muhammad.
No. You guys have the perfect movie now.
I was thinking the grandson of Superfly who had converted to Islam.
That would also work.
The grandfather, and he can be played by Lawrence Fishburne. That way you know you need to take him seriously. Yeah. There's a lot of potential here. Holy shit.
There's so much potential. I love it.
You know,
And it would
weird...
totally sell in today's, like, everything's getting remade as a weird zombie thing at some point.
You know the weird thing about Muhammad's dick?
It
No, I didn't know
smells a
nothing
lot
about
like
that,
harmful
actually.
opinions,
What?
chat.
No, I didn't have one.
Really? He was a eunuch? Is that
No,
what
he
you're
was-
saying?
He was a lady.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Anyway, so
All right then.
yeah, Greek mythology is just lazy writing, man. Like, you
This is
know.
the thing.
It is, but it's fun. I mean,
it's
there's
like
a lot of good stuff in there.
no, it's just weird though in this show because it's a bit like Greek mythology in that like apparently it's my job to offend half the audience, but it's Jeff's job to offend half the planet. I like it. Yeah, that's good.
I'm just spitting
Yeah,
truth.
I like it.
I'm just spitting truth. All I'm saying is that like if Muhammad had showed up in the last sequence of Troy and caught the arrow that hit Brad Pitt in the heel there, we could have been like, well, that's why it's the one true
The
religion.
Odyssey wouldn't have happened. There we go.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
priest says,
I like the Odyssey, so.
the priest says, I didn't want to hear Muhammad's dick coming out of Jeff's mouth. Well, I didn't want his dick going in my mouth, but you know, I was young and it was Pakistan, so what was I gonna do?
Really,
Protest?
really?
It's like I was a pretty boy and I knew how to dance. But you know, respect cultures, respect them.
Remember how I was complaining about being on an extremist list?
Yes, I believe I do.
Oh, Jeff, do you remember how I was mildly complaining to you about the fact that I wasn't on that list? Like,
You are now.
what do I have to do for the IDF to hate me?
Be on a bunch of
Just
low energy live.
Just talk to Jeff more.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, for me, it was just being on a bunch of lazy dickhead streams with Andy Worski. So I mean, you know, it's not like any of his own.
Another time and space.
It was, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Maeve says Greek mythology inspired Xena. Fuck you, Jeff. You're on.
Actually, Xena was kind of great.
Yeah, Xena was awesome. What were we talking about?
Hold on, talking about terrible Greek mythology. I got a movie for you guys to watch
Yes,
at some
please.
point.
Yes.
It's called Lou Ferrigno's Hercules.
Yes. Wait.
Yes.
Lou Ferrigno was Hercules?
Yeah, no, there's a movie. It's an Italian movie that is dubbed, but it is a Hercules movie where Hercules ends up fighting King Minos, who is trying to overthrow the Greek gods because science. And there's somehow a god of science who is a chick with a codpiece.
That's okay. Yes, Lou Ferrigno. It's just called Hercules. 1983 Hercules.
It is.
Yeah.
We
And the
always
greatest-
call it Lou Ferrigno's Hercules because there's so many different Hercules movies and
Right.
shows and
And-
everything.
And when the enemies like actually plead and petition for peace, they never get it because Lou Ferrigno can't hear them.
That's sadly true. But that is sadly true. Poor Lou Ferrigno.
He's
a
wonderful.
beast though.
He's a
he's a
beast.
beast.
He is a beast. He's one hunk of man, I tell you that much.
He is a hunk of man.
So, Mecca, anything you want to share, promote anything with us?
Oh man, I don't know if I have anything I want to shill right now.
Nah, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You are your own strong, independent black woman, and
Actually-
you don't need no man.
Yeah, actually, if anything,
Okay.
take this opportunity to actually in front of the
Yes.
thousands of people watching right now. to
Thanks.
shill Lou Ferrigno's masterwork.
Of 1983 Hercules, yeah.
No, the Hercules movie?
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, he's the Hulk." No, you don't know. He was
listen.
he was so into Greek tragedies.
Nick, allow me, because I love this movie.
You know
It's
what?
so
You know what?
terribly
Actually,
bad.
how about
It's
I got a better idea. Check this out. So I'm gonna send you a message here, Mecca, real quick.
Right?
That's our Meistercle. Okay.
Let's and when we watch this, you need to give us the best pitch as to why this is worthwhile.
right.
So let's do...
It's still on the lie
I know,
detector.
I know. So here we go. We're gonna have to pause it a lot though, because we don't want to get a copy strike.
From the depths of space
Hold on, I need
comes the
Okay.
strongest man on Earth in the Super Adventure Odyssey. Hercules.
God.
Ooh, I need to get that font, man. I really do.
Right now I'm honestly feeling like I'm watching a fucking trailer for Voyager. So
you look like you're
font is so quintessential.
you look like you're getting the vapors, Nick.
You're getting a case
Oh.
of the vapors.
I've been
Incredible
frozen.
Ferrigno is Hercules. In a
Pause,
battle with
please.
unearthly
What a fucking monster he is, dude.
I know. Just look at all that rippling man meat fighting a total giant metal moth monster.
How is it in roughly the same time though Sean Connery could feel comfortable doing what he did?
What?
Yo,
What do you? No. What are you talking about?
What was it? It was
Because Sean Connery could actually be part of the job. Lou Ferrigno can do everything else but, sadly.
It's fair.
in a battle with unearthly creatures. Hercules, the superhuman hero, with the strength of an army.
Oh, yeah.
Hercules facing love. And the bewitching
I love you,
forces of
Hercules. What did
Oh, their love story is the story of the ages. He looked at her face once, and because an oracle said, "Whoever looks at my face first, I am going to marry."
Dude.
Ta-da!
Dude. We are
sorry.
doing a Saints movie night with this movie. Holy shit.
You need to, dude. It's
We
not
are.
even shown the best part yet.
And
We're
somebody
gonna
also
roast
mentioned
In fact,
somebody
let's-
else
let's
mentioned in the
Roast
chat.
a bear.
Somebody
in
also
his
mentioned
face.
Zardoz. We have to do Zardoz as well. Zardoz is
no,
incredible.
that was the one. Yeah, Zardoz. Here's the thing. So, couple fun things. There will be actually. We've finally hashed it out. In the ring of gladiatorial combat. There will be a Saints Patreon coming soon. And as part of that, we also want more in the way of content. And I think Saints Movie Night will be an important thing to do. Now, we were thinking Mondays, except we don't want to step on Side Quest's toes.
Hebrecules. Ooh, what?
What?
Hebrecules.
Oh Christ, we're gonna have
Wow.
an
God.
entirely new faction now, aren't we? A whole faction of people who like find a reason to start a civil war in the Discord. That's great.
Let's okay. More Civil War. All right, sure.
I'm okay with it. Listen, last civil war ended up with black people being able to be Candace Owens.
Hercules. The all-new
Oh my
Oh, man.
Oh my God! Did
Yes.
you see? Hang on, stop.
Wait.
They had the Rainbow Bridge, motherfucking Joss Whedon, motherfucking
Nick?
Thor. They stole that shit from fucking Lou Ferrigno. And
Right?
No. Oh God, I
They
feel
stole the bridge. But they did not steal the three-headed mechanical Hydra.
True.
Yet.
a mythic flight of the imagination.
Okay, please hold on. Just pause for a second. Did you guys notice how that chariot was flying?
It was flying fucking wonderfully.
very
like a-
aerodynamically.
Yeah, they had a United
He tied a
pilot.
rock to a rope
That's right. Yeah.
and threw the rock, and it flew them into space, but then also back to Earth.
Awesome.
How do you think they ended up in Philadelphia?
I don't know. I assumed airplanes. God, I wish this trailer showed these.
Damn, dude.
I can't wait for Stupendous Wave to cover this element of Jedi lore.
Hercules, son of Zebro.
Yes.
Yes. Hercules, son of Zebro. I'm into this idea.
That is good. That is good. Who's that? Jables? Good. Good Jables.
Mm-hmm.
Hercules.
Oh, you guys will
the
definitely
legend
like what's her name? Cassiopeia's outfit at the end because literally is just a seashell bra and curtains.
You know what I like about
Excellent.
this trailer though is like we always get people bitching about modern trailers that give away the whole movie. Like that's a new thing. Watching this, I realize no, that's just how it works.
I have no idea what's happening. No idea what's going on.
The only thing it hasn't shown is him throwing the bear into space. And that is the
thank
most
you for the fucking
hilarious
spoilers. God damn it. I was
It's
looking
part
forward
of
to
the
that.
original mythos. It's not a spoiler. That came out like 3,000 years ago, Nick.
Goddamn freaks. They're fucking spoilers.
I know. Oh my god! I forgot about that.
Oh!
What
Yes.
the fuck? Why doesn't he have
Yes,
genitals?
there you go.
Production from the Canon Group.
Because when they first show his
And
ethereal, masculine visage, they show him in the Kindle version.
yeah, but
Oh
because
my
how did Sybil Danning feel about that? Like, oh, I got a producer credit. That's why am I making up for Lou Ferrigno's absent cock?
Because her boobs were basically out the entire movie.
Let's be honest here, Nick. We're all making up for Lou Ferrigno's absent cock. Anyway, so, Mecca, you've been wonderful. We love you. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, talk to you later, dudes.
Akbar.
Ah, shit biscuits. Okay.
I'm so glad that was brought into my
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Hey, I got more Lou Ferrigno to
You know
enjoy.
what? You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny is I actually moved Nick, but I left Mecca in here.
Am I your new co-host now?
Yeah, you're the new co-host. Bye, Mecca.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
let's wait until Friday, shall we?
She started to say, "All right, listen," and then I moved her. I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry, my bad." Sorry.
What?
What? Twat? Did you say?
Did you move the other dude now?
Cunt, I ask you a question? All right.
There was somebody else here talking to me, and now they're gone.
There was.
What'd you do?
There was.
What'd you do?
There was, but now
What's
they're gone. Shut up.
I mean, maybe my mind's not working because of my allergic reaction. to my
Crab90
bacon.
says Zeus needs to check himself into a Sex Addicts Anonymous. Agreed, man. Agreed. So next up we have Vocho de la Praulo.
Oh, Christ. We need to stop letting these people give themselves nicknames.
That's right. Prauloge.
Oh. Vocho de la Praulo. It sounds like something. I feel like it's something someone would scream at me in an old match in PUBG or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vocho, where are you?
Vocho, Spanko, Sucky Fucky, Lucky Ducky. Okay. All
Vocho Spanko de Jeff Bezos. Where? Nah,
You're
it's
on.
gone.
We've got Crab90.
Oh God.
Oh, hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Oh, wait, let me.
Welcome to your own personal episode of Black Mirror.
I'm still laughing at that. The non-genitals on the Hercules.
You know, I am personally a big fan of the non-genitals on Hercules.
It's one of those kind of things, like you get that role as an actor, and then you see what the trailer looks like, and you're like, oh my God, you made me look like a He-Man toy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
Now
God! Sorry.
We need to see a Putin movie. like that. Putin with those big muscles like that.
I think we've already seen that, and it's called Red Dawn.
What?
What? Listen, I mean, to anybody who's a Trump supporter out there, I'm not meaning to say that, like, we're all going to turn to the Wolverines, and that's what the whole purpose of the Discord is, because it would be awful. But
I don't actually. What are you even talking about?
Can you imagine our Discord becoming a militarized resistance to Russian occupation? Like, well, we're not good at killing them, but we're really good at confusing them.
Well, I don't own any guns, so that would be shit.
Oh man, okay. I randomly popped over and looked at some of my access to messages. Apparently there is a very large push of people wanting me to like tackle the BetterHelp debacle. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
BetterHelp.com. By the way, this episode of Midweek Saints brought to you by BetterHelp.com. It's the one place you can go for non-effective, ineffectual overall mental health treatment. If you're experiencing a real thing, don't go to BetterHelp. But if you're experiencing something that you think might be kind of upsetting, go ahead and use coupon code CUNTSTRIPE, and you can get 50% off your first treatment, which will help you not in the least.
Vocho was trying to find push to talk button. We'll get you in next, buddy. Yeah, no, I guess okay. So BetterHelp is it's a service that a lot of people have been promoting, where basically you can like chat with somebody, and
that's all it is. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you can chat with somebody. You
Right.
can talk with an anonymous stranger who
yeah.
supposedly went to college at one point, and you can tell them your problems, and then they can tell you, well, you need to learn to move on.
They also sponsor Ben Shapiro.
Oh god, hang on. They sponsor Ben Shapiro, Philly D, and Shane Dawson.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, guys, this video brought to you by BetterHelp.com. Go on to BetterHelp and tell them about how all the shit you've been watching on YouTube has been driving you fucking crazy. Use coupon code I'm a cuck, and you'll receive 50% off of your first free chat.
Go ahead,
Isn't
please.
it a conflict of interest? Like, they're...
Well, listen, no, crap. Listen,
hang on. I want to
hear what he's about to say.
I want to hear what he's about to say.
No, that's all I was gonna say. It's Nick summed it up.
Yeah,
they're sponsoring the people.
Yeah, it's not just, listen, as an e-celebrity myself, it's BetterHelp.com is not just a service that I endorse, but it's also a service that I use, and that it allows me to have live chats with people who are not those who watch my videos. It's great because I can avoid my fans altogether and then turn around and make a little profit by talking to these board-certified Oberlin graduates. They can really help you.
Well, okay. The thing that makes me a little leery of it, I've been leery of it for a while, is, the basic concept of it is, if you feel like there's something that you really want to talk about, then there is this service where they say that everybody is certified, that everybody is like an expert and all this and all that kind of thing. Well, recently, Claudia, the ranting feminist, which, whether you like her or not, I like her. I think she's an interesting person. She went digging around their terms of service, and they even say very specifically, we do not guarantee that these people are board certified to give you advice or to listen to your fucking mental problems. So that's really the thing that's kind of sneaky and weird about it. And maybe...
Here's the thing, Jeff. Both of us are ordained ministers. In that case, I would like to say go along to spiritualadvisor.net and use coupon code SAINTS, and you can get 50% off of your first conversation with a genuine spiritual advisor, fully ordained by randomers on the internet, probably from the Ukraine. So yeah, coupon code SAINTS, and we can help you with that.
Right. It's just strange, man. And so like I am considering doing something with it, but in order to do so, I think I'll actually have to like sign up for their service and talk to them. So
No.
Perhaps you should not go to the web for any kind of medical help.
Actually, hang on, Jeff, you just gave me a brilliant idea, and I think this is something we should do. Listen, we have been, we started this show, being stalwart consumer advocates trying to protect Amazon shoppers from bad products, right?
Right.
I think in the same way, it would be. I think it would be rather brilliant if Saints as a well, I don't want to say brand because that makes it commercial. No, as a community, if Saints could ourselves get a BetterHelp profile, so that we can actually bring not just our own mental issues to these amateur psychologists, but also bring issues about the show, bring issues about society. I think this would be a brilliant way for us to actually review BetterHelp.com using and before we do this, of course, we need to get a coupon code Saints.
Right.
But yeah, it's not just a service that I endorse, it's a service that I use. From time to time, I like to jump into a random chat box with a person I've never met who has nothing but a first name and tell them all of my deepest, personal, darkest desires and all the fucked up shit about myself so that they can tell me that I need to let go of the bad things and embrace the good things in my life before they bill out on Patreon.
Sure.
I actually have a question, particularly for you, Nick, because of your professional activism.
That's not great.
Done.
Okay, this is terrible. All right, we're already going down a dark road. Go on.
I'm sorry, but when do boycotts actually work? That's basically the big question. Because there's a lot of, you see all this proselytizing online about, hey, I'm not going to shop here. Boycott this, boycott that.
The only times they actually work in this day and age are when they are focused on small businesses that, for one reason or another, ruffled the feathers of an activist. And they only work typically in big cities, because those are the only times in which enough woke people can be woke to the fact that this business isn't good. Outside of that, I mean, major corporate boycotts, let's consider Nike, the notion of the hard right deciding because Nike was going to endorse an opinionated millionaire, all of a sudden, like, I'm going to burn my Nikes. Oh yeah, Nike's really hurting for that, aren't they? Yeah, boycotts these days. Boycotts worked back in the days when businesses relied on local communities, but these days it really doesn't work. And the only time it would work is when it was like a name and shame horse shit campaign against a small business where the owner had an opinion that went afoul of the popular zeitgeist. And so, yeah, boycotts themselves in general, they're just. It's really just an opportunity for people online to grandstand and thump their chests and show how they're fighting whatever power they hate. Outside of that, yeah, they're irrelevant. I mean, I'm a strong supporter of LGBT people's rights. Yeah, let them get married. Let them experience that sexless horror on their own. I'm not going to stop eating at Chick-fil-A outside of the fact that Chick-fil-A doesn't exist where I am, so I can't eat Chick-fil-A. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Yay! Look at that. I managed to do something.
So you're saying globalism is to blame?
I'm saying stupid fucking people who think the internet is gonna make them wise and intelligent. That's to blame. The internet has ruined everything that was once good and right about humanity. And at this point, the best thing we can do is to say, please make it more fiery and brighter. That way I can see it from a distance. And there's a moment of silence.
I'm a strong supporter of LGBTQAnon.
What?
The goddamn straights, they've been trying to communicate through Donald Trump all this time, and we just never listened.
Anyway,
Okay.
so Crab, anything you want to show, promote, or put out there for us, buddy?
Check out my blog, crabtalk.wordpress.com.
Yeah,
Definitely
sweet.
do
Toss
that.
me the URL in the DM on Discord, will you?
All right.
And by the way, Crab, I want to actually thank you for being one of the most stalwart fucking patrons I've had. It's a thing. We you know, every content creator goes through it, and when you like notice, like especially in times of sort of like tabloid zeitgeists and shit, yeah, people exploit. You've been with me for a long time, dude, and I thank you for it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry you missed the last hangout.
No, you didn't miss anything. It was terrible.
All right, cheers, buddy. Take care. All right.
You too.
So let's see. I think we're all pretty much caught. We got next up. We'll be dragging in Vocho, but also we have our old friend Beyond Fear is in the chat. Maybe Beyond Fear wants to get into the waiting room on the Discord too. She might win the role.
The Beyond Fear. That's a name I've not heard in a very long time.
I don't know. It's too true.
Oh
It's
no,
too true.
that Beyond Fear comes from Gamergate days, if I'm remembering the right one.
Oh yeah. No, she's wonderful. I just haven't talked to her in voice chat in fucking forever. All right, hey Vocho, how's it going, man? Vocho.
Oh, that didn't work out.
Damn it. No,
Glad
we don't-
everyone.
we
I'm
don't-
glad
we don't-
everyone.
We don't
gets
hear
a
you, buddy.
chance- Yeah, everyone gets a chance to like ruminate on my my epic tirade there. It's good. All right, you get Vocho in. I'm gonna go get more beer because I knew this would be a problem.
Yeah.
God damn it! I need to start. You know what I need? I need to put a mini fridge.
What do you
here?
need?
I need a mini fridge. I can put all my shitty beer in there. Which, by the way, I do have a whole bunch of expired Kirkland Light compliments of a Noble Yeti.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. Kirkland Light doesn't expire.
That's true. It just takes on a different flavor.
It ages. Go. Fuck
It
off.
ages.
Go on. Go do your
It
thing.
ages.
Go do your thing. It's fine. Need some Brent Spoke? What the fuck is Brent Spoke? Check your goddamn Discord DMs. You saucy ass Australian. Vocho. We still can't hear you, buddy. There's got to be something going on with your sound settings. Like it's just not picking up your mic or something, bro. Like it's lighting up, like you're trying to talk, but it's not coming through to us. And I feel terrible. Yeah, got to check your audio settings. Let's see. What else were we talking about? I went to go and look at my here. Let me show you like how fucking nutty, real quick. How fucking nutty my goddamn life is. Like, why I quit chiropractic, cause of epidemic of autism. Here's a dude named Chris Milbank, and this is like these are just like all these weird links and shit that I'm investigating, and this is on one browser. I have 4 fucking browsers open, and all 4 of them have at least 3 to 10 different things that I'm investigating right now. My life. This is my life. This is what I do. And it's just... It's fucking terrible. It's absolutely the worst. Vocho. I tell you what, Vocho. Take a minute, see if you can get it figured out. I'll toss you into VC1 and see if they can help you out with it. And if so, then I will. They'll let me know in the during show chat, and then we'll try and get you in. All right. I some executive privilege. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Right there. You looking at your damn computer beyond fear, like, hey, is Jeff talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I didn't put the button hard enough on my microphone.
That's right. You absolutely
I've been yelling at you, and you haven't been hearing me.
Well, you gotta. You know what?
Welcome.
If you want me to feel you, you gotta push it in deep.
Well, I pushed it in deep, but apparently it wasn't deep enough.
That's right. It'll never be deep enough for me. I'm what's known as an unsatisfiable hole.
Gross.
No, it's sexy. That's what everybody told me when I was crying on the edge of the bed.
By the way, I hope everyone is prepared for the new article on Huffington Post by our own Jeff Holiday. That dick didn't make me face. I feel oppressed.
Oh, I always feel oppressed. Well,
considering your attitude towards holes, no wonder you're oppressed.
Considering my what?
Your attitude towards holes.
Hey, you know what? If it's pretty and it exists, I'm going to put my penis inside of it. What's the problem?
Exactly. And that was why he was kicked out of the premiere of that one Shia LaBeouf movie.
Can I tell you though? I want to share something with you too. Actually,
I thought it was funny.
No, it was great. It was fine. It's wonderful. I was impressed. I was impressed. I was very. Impressed.
I was fully erect with that joke. Thank you. Yes.
We're all impressed, Nick. But I want to share something with you, Nick, and you, Fear, and everybody out there. I found something the other day that almost pushed me to the limit. So most people know, and I think the both of you have been with me at times where I watched extreme videos on the internet, really fucked up things, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
before you get into this, let me just say to everyone watching, this has been a wonderful Twitch channel that we've had. We appreciate you all having been here for this long, and I'm sure you'll find us somewhere else after this is deleted.
Well, yeah, well, maybe my free cams or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, but I thought that there was possibly something that could make me have to tap out. I really did. And it happened just a couple of days ago, and I found that I am all out of soul points. Like I cannot be moved anymore. I found a video of a guy, a man in a dress. I don't believe he was trying to pass, so I think I'm okay on saying he was a dude, who had a severed cow's head, played with the pieces of muscle tissue and masturbated, and then proceeded to fuck the eye socket of a severed head of a cow.
Jeff, you promised me we wouldn't watch any more Copper Cab on this channel.
I know, but...
Is it bad that I think it's not as bad as if the head was still attached?
Oh.
Like, I'm thinking, like, yeah, that's bad, but at least it was severed.
Right. It's not like it was still attached to the dead body or still alive, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought that would actually elicit an emotional response inside of me, but no, nothing. Not even a twitch.
Yeah. The internet does things to people.
It does.
I reached out to Liam Neeson hoping he could channel some of that Dr. Kinsey shit, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so Weasel just reminded me on this, and this is something that I was thinking about too. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking about that whole old trope of, what was his name, David Cameron in the UK, and the severed pig's head.
Fuck the pig's head.
No, James Cameron is the director. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, David Cameron.
No.
Now, James Cameron fucked a pig's head when he decided to
He
make
went
Avatar.
down to the bottom of that trench.
That's
He lowered the bar so he could fuck that pig's head.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He did us all a favor. He lowered the bar so we have a lot less inhibitions. Thank you, James Cameron.
Still gets me more excited than the notion of Avatar sequels.
But it made me actually ask the question. So this person's obviously ocularly penetrating a severed cow's head. Okay.
Oh, he got an eyeful.
Yeah. Well,
Oh no.
an eyeful, but it wasn't like he wasn't like stuffing it in. Like it was not the most impressively endowed, but it got in. It was in. Technically, it was in. But it made me wonder, and this is the thing that the internet does to you after a while. So Kirk Cameron fucked that severed pig's head, right? And
let's just keep running with that. Yeah.
But the question is, did he fuck its mouth? Did he fuck its eye socket? Or did he fuck its esophagus?
I heard that he stuck it in the mouth, which is a terrible idea to do with a pig's skull. Like, pigs' jaw bones and their teeth are as strong as steel, so the chances of seriously injuring your dick...
It's true.
It's a bad idea. Don't stick your dick in animals' mouths.
Well, then let me ask you the question then, Fear. And this is the thing that I think is really the most pressing question of the day, probably for the whole episode, is so let's say that you are going to have oral sex with a severed pig's head. Is it in the realm of rationality that you would have the foresight to be concerned over your own penis's well-being? Or are you so involved in the idea that you are going to be orally copulating with a severed pig's head that you just don't even think about it?
But, like, a pig's head is something you have to specially order. Like, you have to put in the forethought, because you can't just go down to a shop and buy a pig's head. You need to hunt that down. You need to have a special request.
Yeah, you can't get it at Walmart or something.
Yeah, like, you have to go to a butcher and say, I need a pig's head. Don't ask me what it's for.
Right.
Unless you're in Florida.
Yeah, then they know what it's for.
I need to go to Florida.
You know, I always said you're my kind of girl. So
yeah, this week. Welcome everyone to This Week in Liz Reptile. We're discussing severed pig's head and copulation with gouged out eyeballs.
Okay, all right. We're going there.
Well, we went there, and then we can come back to the normal place, back to the healthy, stable place about streaming, discussing, having sex with pigs' heads.
You know the weird thing about Kirk Cameron's penis?
It looks like Jeff Bezos.
What beyond fear?
Oh, I was just questioning whether or not it existed.
Oh, no, it exists. It exists. He's actually rather well hung. You wouldn't think so. A man who's so spiritually cucked by the Lord that he makes a complete ass out of himself all the time. But he actually has a very large, girthy penis. But Kirk Cameron, oddly enough, his penis is covered in tiny crucifix brands.
Cute.
Yeah.
I wonder, wait a minute, does that mean depending on the angle you're going at, it makes it satanic?
Okay. Actually, that's I don't know if he really thought that through.
I wonder if Ray Comfort has given this thought when he was putting those brands on them.
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
We're really going to need Hugo and Jake to come in and clarify this for us at some point. Because
I wonder what it's like to receive a blowjob from a guy with a really bushy mustache.
Ooh, it's probably about the same as going down on a girl with a very hairy bush.
Or a robot.
That doesn't sound like a good time to me. I don't want to be looking for what I want to do things to.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. When it comes to munching down on some hairy bush, If it's all bush, it's not very, very enjoyable. If the sides are shaved, it's at least very doable because then you can just like prop everything up on the shelf of your upper lip and just go to town, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like the type of pubes. Like I remember one time I was probably too young to be watching this. It was like 1 a.m. and it was on one of those SBS ABC shows, and it was some French movie because they're all French.
Yeah.
It was a dude recounting a story of how he went down on a girl who had really stiff, strong pubes, and one got caught around his uvula, and he like started projectile vomiting all over her.
Awesome! Wow.
And I was just like 14, and I was like, ew! I wasn't ready for that.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great how like cable TV and the internet allow sex ed to be things like, here's what happens when you go down on a wire brush.
Could you imagine like having to douche to get the barf out of your vagina?
Well, apparently she got very, very offended, and in a way that I guess only a puby French woman can.
Everybody pukes. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Ew.
Also, I mean, I think, I've gone down on French women myself, so I really can't say too much. But they were acclimated to modern society. They didn't just think like, hey, I'm going to Lena Dunham the living shit out of this and be gross as I can.
You know, the weirdest thing about my pubic hair?
You don't have any?
No,
it transmits a radio frequency. What?
Currently, no, I don't. I currently know I don't have any pubic hair. But there's a very specific reason for it because
marriage.
No, I'm married. I don't have to cut my pubic hair if I don't want to, but I do for one really specific purpose. My pubic hair is straight.
Oh, you've got like cute little Asian girl pubes.
No, it ain't little. It ain't cute. It's long. Like my pubes, they're not wiry or anything. Like they are. It's very soft hair, but it grows completely straight, and it grows completely straight out. So like if I don't shave the pubes, my crotch looks like Don King's head.
I was about to say, you should like start combing them down, get like a dead straight long ball beard or something.
His pubes are so straight they could have sex with ContraPoints and not have to answer a single question afterwards.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, I'm out of the loop. I don't understand the joke.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, it was kind of a lame. It was kind of a. It might have been a gay joke, depending on how you looked at it.
Like, as in, like, the angle or the lighting?
I just added another layer. Let's move on.
You did. But the sum and total is like, do you know who Don King is, Beyond Fear?
No, I don't know who very many people are.
All right.
You're doing just fine then.
All right.
If you don't, good.
If you don't know,
senpais.
Basically, like Don King is the Don King is the Jesse Jackson of the boxing world.
Okay.
I don't know who Jesse Jackson is either.
All right.
You're doing very
here we
well.
Go. That's not even. No, that's a drawing. All right. Here we go. That's Don. So if you watch the stream, it'll change over right now. Don King was a boxing promoting manager, and his hair was always straight the fuck up.
I've seen this dude in a Mad magazine when I was a kid, but I didn't know who he was.
He looks like a black good luck troll, right?
Yeah.
He looks like a DreamWorks or Pixar character.
He does. And if I don't shave my pubes, that's what my crotch looks like.
That's awesome, though.
A smiling black man.
Yes, with the face of a smiling black man, and the nose is much longer and it's a dick, but there's a mouth underneath it.
It's okay, Jeff. Everyone gets cold.
Yeah, you see, listen out, the crowd. Don't listen to the honey badgers. If you circumcise your infant males, their dicks will never look like Don King. And if there's one thing we can be sure of, every man dreams of that.
I wish I could have a dick like this dude's. I mean,
Yeah.
this dude's face.
Wish I could have a dick like this dude's face. That is the best thing I've ever heard said on the internet.
No, my pubes are not gray. They're not gray. They're actually
They'd be so much more majestic if they were.
they're like slightly gingery brown.
Aww.
Yeah.
Mine are just pitch black. I actually fucking hate my pubes.
I hate my
They're
pubes
just-
too.
You hate your
I just have
pubes?
thick, dark hair everywhere. So, like,
What-
I always gone, everything gone all the time.
Is
From
it?
my eyebrows down, I shave everything.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but I'm sure I'm not alone in this. In like listening to an Australian woman say like, "I need my pussy bare as Picard's head." Oh God, no!
Yes.
It gets hot here.
Well,
I'm sure. No, hang on, Jeff. Let's
Okay.
explore this more. Tell me more
I'd love
about
to.
how hot your pussy gets, please.
Not that hot, actually.
Not during this show. Yes, I get it.
that's
but-
pretty common.
Oh, I mean, I got a little, like, flustered and all heated up when we were talking about, like, pigs and cow heads, but it sort of petered out.
Yeah, but when I had to think about then, like Jean-Luc Picard's head meets Jeff Holiday's pubes, it just like it was like a dry gulch. I couldn't explain it. It
It's
was
like
all
It was a
gone.
dry spell in the Sahara.
It's like my vagina was doing a walkabout.
What the fuck is a walkabout?
I don't know. That's like what you guys call doing
Yeah.
drugs and walking to the 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah, honestly, like I
No.
hear you Aussies talk about drop bears, and I just happen to think that it's just like what it means when you like spap a load onto the small of a woman's back.
No, it's what we tell tourists to scare them away from koalas.
Oh.
It's like leave them alone. They have nothing to do with cum. Promise.
No, I hate koalas. I wouldn't mind if you came on a koala, especially a baby one. They're trash animals.
Well, now, okay, I think we're getting into legal territories here now. I think we need to stop and roll it back a bit.
That's right.
I'm sure
You know
that-
you can
look.
catch chlamydia from a
Look.
koala?
It is illegal to engage in sexual activity with a koala unless it's dead. So let's put the qualifier in. We don't want to get in trouble. Let's just
Exactly.
make sure we're talking about dead koala
Yeah,
babies.
That's, yeah.
Well,
If
like,
you want-
it's
if you-
really hard to tell when they're alive or dead because they sleep all day. So if it's not moving, you could make a defense.
Not if you shoot it in the head with a nail gun. It's fucking dead.
yeah.
Then
and
come
honestly,
on,
See,
then-
now you're gonna get blood all mixed in with your cum. That's just gross.
Well,
that's,
yeah,
that's tradition.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like, put another shrimp on the Barbie was just a euphemism for let's fuck this small dead bear.
No one even calls them shrimp, and it's not even called a. Oh wait, no. I guess it used to be called a Barbie, but no one's ever called them shrimp. They're prawns.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The prawns.
Roast another prawn in the Barbie. It's like, well, why is it that there's like, why are there legal, loopholes for, Australians to fuck mammals with the mental acuity of children? And then you
They
realize
don't have
there's
the
a lot.
mental acuity of children. They have the mental
Lot of
acuity of a
Canadian
rock.
immigration. Lot of Canadian immigration. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
What?
there was steps to that joke. You'll all laugh about it tomorrow morning, I promise.
Okay.
Oh, I just love the fact that I made this obscure joke about Canadians. And that's more troubling to you than the notion that you live in a nation that has laws about fucking the orifices of dead mammals.
Well, I haven't actually really looked into those laws, so I didn't know about them till like
I'm-
3 seconds.
I can't
I'm
wait
actually
until you do.
I'm actually the expert on bestiality laws in Australia. Not for any specific reason, just because it
This
came
is
up
what
once.
you get. This is what happens when you start a podcast with somebody who's friends with Bering. Continue, Jeff, please.
I was young. I was impressionable. Come on. I haven't talked
That's
to him.
what they all say, Jeff. That's what they all say.
I haven't talked to him in forever either.
No, and here's the funny thing too. Here's the funny thing. Like, we make jokes about having never had a female guest on this show. In truth, we have never actually had a male Australian on this show, because when Bering agreed to be on this show, he ended up forgetting, and then his girlfriend came on instead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
God's
So
bless.
Bering got cucked by his girlfriend?
No, he got cucked by how much of a sleepy piece of shit he is, and he just passed out the whole time.
He's asleep. He must have had a drop bear fall on his head and knock him out, and then his hot girlfriend had to come on and be more charming.
But you know what? Well, Sugar Tits is more charming anyway. Boom. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know these people enough to make a joke, but I do know one time I think Vadim tried to theorize that I was actually Sugar Tits, and I nearly died laughing.
Oh, Vadim's theories are wonderful because they're always wrong. So,
one of these days we should have Vadim on.
Fuck you, Jeff. I said let's get Vadim on, and you're like, he's not funny, and I'm like, well, I agree, but
well, he's funny to laugh at now.
Well, but I okay. The thing is that I still like Vadim. I do. It's not easy.
He's just a bit of a cunt.
Well,
I was gonna say I don't hate him. I don't he can go off and do his thing. Good for him. I wish him the best. But even when I used to like him, he gave me the shits. Like, he'd complain about how his show is doing and everything, but he wouldn't listen to any advice, and then he'd bitch and moan and send these giant paragraphs of text, and it's just like, fuck off.
In fairness, speaking as somebody with a dying media presence myself, the advice doesn't.
I just saw
the advice doesn't help.
That upset me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the most important thing Vadim needs to get around to is that it's more important to be funny than it is to make a point.
I think he just needs to get the stick out of his ass.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, but if he was to get the stick out of his ass, then like all of that backed up rage would come out. And
I love
know the difference between
a good flushing out.
You wouldn't know the difference between a Christian and a conservative at that point.
I love his comedic timing when he makes his videos. Like I don't like necessarily how mean he can be on some people that I really do like. But his comedic timing, like the way he formulates his CC videos, really good. They're really good.
Well,
hang on, and like he's brilliant in some things. Like he did a Christmas album with alt-right songs, and it was fucking brilliant. It was one of the funniest things I had seen like the last that year. It was absolutely incredible and absolutely on point. It's just like Vadim. It's kind of hard to deal with. So what I think we should do is we got to find like some sort of we'll do a show with him, but we have to have a challenge. And the challenge is like the three of us have to get through something. And I'm not sure what it is. Maybe the chat can help us. But like maybe that way we can keep him from speaking in paragraphs and instead on track. And it has to be something punishing, something that we can crack jokes about, but something that's inherently not fun, and we have to make it fun.
Actually, you know what? I think I have an idea. Actually,
Yeah.
we Vadim comes and does the entire show as CC, right?
Okay.
And it will be one of our movie nights, and we will watch God's Not Dead.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
I feel like because hasn't he kind of covered that sort of stuff before?
Yeah, but not on this show, and this show is better than any video anyone makes.
And there was a new God's Not Dead that was just recently released.
Yeah. And here's the other fun thing, and this is something I'm actually going to say, like, and this is about Vadim, and I apologize to him if it wasn't supposed to be let out, but and this is something I find impressive. He trained with Second City. Like, Second City, for those who are not familiar, like, I do shitty comedy on my channel now, right? And
Is that
comedy.
why I'm here?
Well, no, this isn't my channel. I'll bring you on my channel when I want someone to be unfunny, other than me. Yeah, but
wow, damn.
But no, but I mean, it's the honest thing. Is like not a lot of people really understand. Comedy is actually it's an art and a science, and it's a punishing, grueling fucking thing, which drives you fucking crazy. Look at, yeah, just keep an eye on Fat Pat and watch him 10 years from now. You'll see what I mean. But
He'll age like 20 years in 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Vadim trained with Second City, and Second City is actually the comedy troupe which birthed Saturday Night Live. Most of the sketch comedy shows you love, if you're over 30, especially if you have any memory, were birthed from Second City and things like that. Vadim trained with them. And I've spoken with him a bunch, and yeah, he's a bit of a cunt when it comes to like, his like political views, but in that essence, he's no different than fucking Sargon or something. But when it comes to his understanding of like comic timing and how comedy needs to be, there's a reason he's been as successful as he has been. And yeah, the guy knows what he's doing. In fact, I would say that Vadim as a person, in terms of like how miserable he can be when it comes to dealing with issues, is largely because a comedian's job is largely to look over every conceivable aspect of an issue or a question or an idea and try and find something funny in it. And that makes you want to fucking kill yourself. So, yeah, I think we need to make CC, not Vadim, but CC, watch God's Not Dead Part 2. Because why did there need to be a sequel if we already established that God was not dead in the first movie?
God's Not Dead 2, God's Not Deader.
Oh, look at your
Nailed it.
licking my forehead.
God, the undeadening too.
The undeadening.
Well, they're making a sequel to Passion of the Christ, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh God, I hope the next title is just as potentially pornographic.
I hope so too.
It's gonna be twice as passionate.
Well, hey, Fear, anything you want to show, promote, put out there into the world to share with us when we put this up on YouTube? Any links?
The only thing I make is my Twitter, but I wouldn't go there. That's a bad idea.
That is a bad idea, actually, yeah. Well, I'm glad we finally got a chance to hang out again after fucking forever.
Yeah, feel free to hit me up once you're done being a big fat internet nerd.
Maybe I will. I'll send you some pictures of my big old bushy fucking crotch.
And I will send you pictures of kittens, because I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
Wait a second, hang on. Jeff sends you pictures of his man bush, and you will send him pictures of pussy in return.
See,
is that what I'm getting?
I was setting the joke up for myself, but now you stole it from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really good at that, Jeff will tell you.
Let me see your kitty. Anyway, we'll see you later, all right?
Alrighty, catch you cunts later.
Bye. Well, that was fun. Oh shit, we are way over. Okay, let's
one more. Listen, I am as eager to get back into No Man's Sky as you are.
Yeah.
But oh God.
What did I just do?
I don't know. I hear something.
Oh God. What did I just
pull everyone in again?
Yeah, I just pulled everybody in. There's only four people. There was only 4 people in the waiting room. I just pulled them all in. Fuck it.
All right, so
I blamed the lack of people on Nick's lack of promo vid.
I agree. Dude, I agree too.
Gotta hit the promo vid.
Well, I spent most of yesterday trying desperately to record an audiobook. By the way, everyone, get excited. I am doing low-res Wonder Bread's audiobook. And so that'll be out soon. And I was doing that, and then I ended up deciding to play Spaceman until 9 in the morning. And then I got up around 3:30, and said, hey, oh Christ, I have no idea for a promo. I didn't. And then I'm like, well, nobody gives a fuck, so it'd be fine. And then I was wrong. So, well done, Jables. Thank you for putting me on the spot, you cunt.
Somebody had to do it.
He's your son.
Well, yes, I know, and that's why I keep trying to send him to facilities.
Oh, that was odd.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is like none of the facilities want Jables. And I say, how many locks on the doors? And they're like, not enough.
So you're saying we're going to have to build a special facility just for Jables?
Well, yes, it's called the pre-show, but thankfully...
So what? I'm the warden?
No. Well, yes, no, you're the warden. It's a kind of Lord of the Flies thing going on over at the show.
That's really appropriate considering our relationship as mods.
Guards. I try to do things, he stops me all the time.
Well, that's
it's probably for the best.
Well, that's the great thing about like the relationship between the owners and the mods of the Saints Discord is I don't know about Jeff, but I can say for my part, I have no idea what these people are doing. None. I like it's sort of like owning a vacation property and letting a leasing company handle it for you. It's a similar thing.
I try and stay as up on it as I possibly can, you know. But
why?
Well,
why?
Because it's fascinating. It's honestly pretty fascinating. Because you got to remember, like everything about the Saints Discord happened without us.
Yes, I know, and I like to keep it that way.
Like we didn't make the community. The community made it itself. We were just kind of like, here's the thing, and then people were using it. We're like, why?
Well, it's sort of like, you know, consider like the story of Stephen King's It, right?
Yeah.
I'm one of the people who is aware that there is a vicious child-eating clown monster in the sewer. I just prefer not to acknowledge it.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. Dude, you should see what some of these kids get up to, man. They get like these fucking like you guys went off for something like 2 weeks with some hardcore creationists and also at the same time some flat earthers. Like at the point where
I fucking missed that, and I'm pissed about it.
It was so, dude. It was so bizarre. It was the weirdest thing because like I come in and there's like 30 people in this chat room, and I hop in there and I hear, well, actually, you see, the reason why the Earth is flat is because of blah blah blah, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And then all of a sudden, there's like all these people who are like being fucking savage on this dude. And I'm like, dude, you guys need to like lay off. Why are you guys being so mean to this dude? And all of a sudden, on Discord, I wish I had recorded this because it was amazing. On Discord, I had like 2 DMs. All of a sudden, there's like 10 DMs. And they're like, dude, he's a dick. Dude, he's a prick. No, dude, just watch. Just wait.
You don't understand. Listen to this motherfucker for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to bring those people in anymore. Apparently, so.
It was fucking wonderful.
That's the beauty
I can give you a link to that guy's Discord server if you want.
Jeff, here's the thing. It's like this is the thing. It's like, you know, we need to treat it like the Jehovah God. Yeah, we need to be like, well, we set this thing up. We gave them a handful of rules that don't make sense, and now we're never going to fuck with them again and let them figure it out on their own. That's how it works.
I don't know, man. They made a Discord 10 times better than you or I ever could. So I'm eternally thankful, man. It was great shit. It was great stuff.
Well, that's the thing. That's the nature of how Jehovah actually works.
Oh
it's like
my
you
God,
left.
fuck you.
You see? Exactly. No, it's like Romulus and Remus, except we don't have the same parents. It's the kind of thing where it works out to where, yes, oh my God, what is happening here? Oh, it's so bad I don't want to look at it. I'll come back in a week and see what happened. Oh, something happened, but no one cares, and now something else is happening. It's wonderful.
So life, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching now, or if you're watching this video after the fact, because we are one of the best talk shows on Twitch, go ahead and join that Discord. Don't try and guide things. Don't try and be a voice. at least right at the outset. You need to figure out how fucking terrible these people really are before you start trying to influence their behavior. So yeah, it's
Best of
good.
luck with that.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to. I mean, eventually it's going to be one of the, it's going to be like being assimilated in the Borg collective. You'll realize that everything you're doing is terrible, but it's in the name of some greater good that you can't understand, and so you're just going to go along with it.
Do you guys think that, you know how there's like those campaigns every now and then, like on Twitter, where somebody will ask like a famous person how many retweets to do blank? Do you think if I did one of those, but it was like, hey, at Bailey J, how many retweets for you and me to crash somebody else's prom? Do you think she'd go for it?
Only one way to find out.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be wonderful.
Jeff,
I don't know, but I think it's something you should definitely try.
It's funny you brought that up, Jeff, because I had a thought to myself. I'm like, I wanted to actually like tweet a screen cap of me DMing myself and saying like, hey, dude, how many retweets for you to turn your name into the biggest failure on YouTube or whatever? And I'll be like, just one. And then retweet myself and be like, done, bro.
You should do that. You should totally do that.
You see, there's the thing. You can't learn this kind of comedy at Second City, Vadim. So if you're watching, I want you to be aware.
I wonder if I should do Bailey J or Natalie Mars.
Yes.
You gotta. You have to choose. You have to choose. No, you have to choose.
Both of them, and then make them fight over who gets to win.
Sword fight.
Dick fight. Dick fight.
Genital jousting. That's how it has to go.
Exactly.
I need.
Yes.
Look, I need to be a lot more famous before I can convince two of the hottest transgendered porno stars to sword fight over who gets to break into a prom with me. I gotta be way more famous.
No,
that's just
smart marketing. It's just smart marketing. You get them both to tell you how many retweets you need. Once you achieve that, you film the sword fight, and they both make money.
And then you tell them, you tell them too, the winner gets to go on Dr. Phil.
Exactly.
Okay. I was gonna say you have to be at least as famous as James Marsters.
Television.
Yeah, granted, it'll be a lie, but this is YouTube. Everyone's used to that.
That's what the internet's full of, right? Lies.
Yeah. And be like, listen, guys, here's the thing. I want to let you know ahead of time. This is going to be a 9-part miniseries documentary. And and I want you all to be aware of it. I just don't want you to let anybody know. And then when we do our interviews, you just have to act like nothing ever happened. Oh, by the way, Nick Crompton and his gym will be in here, and we'll be asking why the two have never met. It's like the most pointed joke in that entire thing. And I feel like Bill Burr on a podcast right now. That's what I feel like.
Well, if I have to be the bunt of so many jokes, I really have taken it up on myself to just not respond to your jokes anymore. I'm just saying, dude. That's my only defense. I get so much shit, all sorts of shit all the fucking time. So now my only defense against it is to just do stone face and make actually a rather poignant joke. I'm like,
it's the great, here's the thing. It's the greatest tragedy to the blood sports phenomenon is that genuinely good jokes need to be met with stone face. It's like, that's funny.
It's a great way to piss off a stand-up comedian too.
You're a faggot. Well, oh! Listen, I'm sitting down, motherfucker. Okay.
All right.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm gonna bounce all you guys out of here. We love you very much.
Hang on, before you do, let me ask. Let's ask the people who matter, the people who are in the show. Was it a good show?
Oh yeah, but I'm still waiting for that wood, Jeff.
All right, get rid of them.
Wait, what wood?
People are fucked up. Get rid of them now.
Wait, what wood?
I don't think Sage has said anything this whole time.
That's because he knew better.
Yeah,
damn.
I'm just kind of staying silent watching this catastrophe, so
Excellent.
and enjoying.
Like, listen, I know if I'm if I'm quiet, if I'm quiet and I stand in the middle of the line, I'll get on the lifeboat and then I can watch the Titanic sink from afar.
Exactly.
That's right. Who was asking me about wood?
You said 11 months.
Oh, 11 months. That means we have to give you some wood now. Oh, yeah. All right, baby. Well, you're going to have to book a ticket to Seattle or Portland or something. I'll meet you there.
It's cardboard.
I'm definitely spending time in Seattle sometime next year. First off, we've got a wedding to go to up that way at the end of September.
Excellent.
And
we'll work it out. We'll
be there.
We'll fuck. We'll figure it out. It'll be a thing. All right. Anyway, get out of here. All you get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Oh God.
Later.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh fuck. Okay. So the most.
Thank you guys, by the
hang
way,
on.
for being the easy excuse for us to say this is a bad show. I'm so glad it doesn't fall on my shoulders now. Thank you.
Hang on. The most Saints thing I think ever said in any chat was just recently said by the Priss, and that is, "I'm too drunk to unsub." Got him.
Okay. By the way, Anna, I know you're resting right now, but when you wake up and have to watch through this entire clusterfuck, you need to get that.
Yeah. That's
That
important.
is seriously it's like if you're still subbed to this channel and you're watching on YouTube, congratulations, you're an alcoholic.
There you go. All right, guys, that's it for us. That's it for the show. That's it for all of it. We'll see you on Friday.
It's done. It's all done.
We'll see you on Friday. Friday might be a little bit shaky, but we're still going to do the show. It'll be a lot of fun.
Fuck you!
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're gonna do
love how you set up these, I love how you set the shit expectations up. You're like, well, I'm not gonna be here, so Nick's gonna be in charge, so it's gonna be kind of shit.
I
want you all to bear with it. Just sort of just sort of grit your teeth and think of England.
I'm gonna be on the show. It's just you're gonna be producing, so it might be a little hairy, but it's fine. We're gonna have a great time.
This movie's so good. By the way, I'm gonna download all of the static GIFs now, so that everyone's like, oh, that's why there's no show right now. Okay, I get it. No. Fucking just download my Comcast bill halfway through. It's like, why is there no show? Oh, I get it.
I get it. Okay, that's clever. What does it feel like being clever?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm doing a different podcast entirely.
You know, the only bad thing about how tonight went was because the last thing I wanted to say before we left was, all right, so I'm gonna tell you guys honestly what I thought about Shane Dawson's thing, and then I was just gonna hit it and go. I was gonna go straight to the music and play.
Oh, you were busy mopping the wine off your floor while I explained what was wrong.
You know, I staged that whole fucking thing, right?
With that,
I staged that whole fucking thing.
Oh, I know. You created Jake Paul's career, and then you created Shane Dawson, and then you're like, hey,
I staged spilling the wine. I staged spilling the wine so I could go get my vape fluid. God damn it. It's called physical comedy with props. I swear to God. Anyway, we'll see you guys on Friday, and then we'll see you back here on Wednesday for the Midweek Saints. Good night. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Why do you hurt me, baby? Why do you do this to me?
Well, it's because when you don't give consent, it's that much more fun.
But look, Like, why do you do this when everybody knows that we're live? You can't just do this all the time.
Well, Jeff, it's like that one time that we met long before the show back in Sacramento, and everyone was looking, and you loved it, and you couldn't get enough of it.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
No,
that's
listen,
not fair.
It's not fair, but it works.
Look, you said you were going to talk about the night with the raccoon.
No, yeah, I get it, but the thing is too is like, what was the goal from the beginning? It was to have a Shane Dawson documentary on the show, and this is how we get it. It's basically you being sodomized via super chats, destroying your internal organs, all of that, and then me being moderately clever on the top. Do you remember this?
Maybe it's gone too far. Maybe this is the point where I just have to. Oh my God, we're still live. Oh my God.